everybody. Welcome to Stay Fishy Friday.
What's good, everyone? Oh, my cup's green. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, you can see through yours, too. Oh, I don't have my green one. Here, I'll use this one. There we go. I can see through it. That's a perfect see-through.
Well, guys, we have a breakthrough. I'll tell you about that when we're ready.
No. You can't hit these people with good news. They're used to just bad news all the time.
It's been life lately.
That's been life lately. It's crazy. I actually, how many people do we got on here?
1 second, I'll tell you.
Let me pull this over here, too.
Oh, I swear, every time I go on here, I'm not sure if it's YouTube or if it's my phone service that's messing up.
Okay, let me take this all the way down the bottom. No,
We're there. 30.
Only 30 people here?
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I wouldn't have started if I knew that.
Equistar said laser. So I will tell you guys.
That was my theory.
I did call a laser company because I was so just done with it.
Yeah,
we're good. I had to make sure we were on. That comment scared me for a sec. But yeah, I called the laser company, and the issue is the flash point or the burn off point on the coating. Is that laser going to get hot enough to burn this coating off? That's the ultimate question. So you know what I did? I took a torch, like that you would heat up a pipe with, and
yeah, I showed that in today's video.
Like a blowtorch. It gets hot. And I put it on there until that sump was glowing red. That sucker was hot. And that coating would not scrape off. It was.
So in reality, on certain spots, like right where the water stops and the air starts, that coating's stuck on. Like we would have wanted the rest of it to stay on, you know. But underwater, it failed miserably, and above water, it failed miserably. You can just, I mean, seriously, you can just take a putty scraper and just scrape, and it just falls off in like crumbs. It's that bad. It's like dust. It's like dirt.
So I racked my brain, and I come to the consensus. I'm like, what did I use last time? We know it works.
We tried all kinds of things. Paint
tried
thinner,
everything.
Paint remover, acetone, yeah,
paint stripper,
gasoline. It wasn't until we came up.
Someone came by with aircraft stripper as well.
Yeah.
But I looked that up because that's one of the harshest chemicals you could possibly get your hands on. It's not allowed to be sold in Ohio, of course. You can get the organic, non-toxic kind, but you know how that stuff works. It doesn't work for nothing. So I did the next best thing, and we used xylene. That was the last thing we did on the last coating. After I scraped it off, I hit it with xylene, and it can't get him off.
Right. We
but
didn't
you
use
remember with xylene on the last one, I sprayed it on, and it was still so gummy, and it was really hard to work with. So I preferred to do it without xylene because I thought it was faster. Just being able to scrape it. But being that this is so impregnated with rust underneath the coating, I tried xylene yet again. I sprayed it on. 10 seconds later, scraper went right through it. So the chemical composition being underwater changed, and the xylene actually broke down the rust beneath the coating, and it just scraped right off. And the bottom of the sump that I already scraped with the big scraper, and I was ready to go back with the wire wheel and get the rest of it off because the coating's off. I hit that with xylene too, and it got another 1/8-inch thick muck layer of that rust off, and it just came right up.
No shit.
Yeah.
So the answer to our prayers is xylene.
Yes. So I got 2 gallons I have to pick up tomorrow, and that should be good to go.
Cool. I'll work tomorrow and get the rest of the sock table and stuff out of there, and work on draining that that 800 gallons down,
Mhm.
and then we can start cutting it up. I mean, I hate to cut it up.
That framing is done for. The
I know,
liner
I
might
showed the
still be
video
good.
and all that, but for the cost of a liner that can do it, an 8 foot by 4 foot thing, you
Yeah,
know,
you just physically can't get that sump out.
can't. We're going to have to cut it up into pieces, and I know it's, to me, it's painful because I hate ruining anything that's working. You know, if it works, leave it be. You know, how long did we have the 3,000 gallon tank there? Even though it was leaking, we could patch it, we could fix it. You know, it'll last another year. We had that thing. That thing lasted 7 years, and then when we took it outside, I still wanted to reuse it out back, but you know. Josh went out there without me knowing. He started, tearing up boards off the bottom. I'm like, why would you do that? Now there's so much more to fix. And it was over with at that point. We're never going to fix it. Let's just take the window out, use it for our new tank, get the new tank up and going. Fuck off, Josh.
That was just so many band-aids and hope and a prayer that it's going to work. The second, I was all for reusing that tank. We should have never let it get dry. The second it got dry, that wood got crumbly, and the second you would have built it and put pressure back on it, I believed it would have just snapped.
Well, my idea was I was going to put a steel band all the way around the whole bottom of it, and ratchet it tight, and then I was going to coat the inside with them big sheets of that. What's that tape we use?
Flex tape.
Flex tape. Now,
that stuff will fix anything.
Dude, it does. If we'd have taken that in 2 foot, they sell them in 2 foot sheets, and covered the inner walls with that, and then bring it down, and then across over about a foot onto the bottom, and then did all the walls with that, we'd have never had a leak again. You know, that stuff was fun, amazing.
Yeah. That is one thing. The spray, not so much, but the tape, that stuff works. Yeah. Once I get this sump fixed and back in place and everything in there, we'll get that temporary sump out of there. The new drum will be there, and it'll look like a actual high-tech filtration back there now. And technically, our finished water sump is going to act as a settling chamber for the finished water. So what that's going to do is
we don't put no fish in it.
Right. It's going to settle out everything that's smaller than 50 microns, which the socks were filtering out 100 microns, so 200 microns.
Right. Our whole system is getting more advanced and smaller. A 50 micron is half the size of a 100 micron opening in them socks. So, I mean, it's just going to clear out more. And then anything after 50 micron can be settled in that sump, where we'd have to take the pond, vacuum and suck it out, like a pool vacuum, and suck out the bottom, and it gets rid of that stuff. But to do that, we're going to have to take the outputs of our wet dry and run them through a tube all the way over to one side, and then turn them up to where water comes out and it's not rushing through, and it comes in on one side and goes out on the other to make that a settling chamber. But I've always wanted to do that, like for the pond outside, between where the overflow is and you have the filters, somewhere between there, cut something open about 2 foot wide, maybe 6 foot deep, and have it lined like maybe a plastic tub or a steel lining, or even just a liner, but have that in there, have the water come in on one side, and then the water that leaves on the other side top is already pre-filtered before that. We would just have to have the bottom, going to a point, and then an on-off valve from that run into the river to get out the sludge at the bottom.
I mean, if you had a big enough vat, I mean, the outside pond will be super easy, but you can have the largest settling chamber, and it'll work better than any mechanical filter anywhere. That's what we use at the water plants. Giant settling chambers.
So does the Georgia Aquarium. They have a tank. I remember Mike Rowe was in there, and he was standing up, and it still had 8 foot above his head, and he was taking a fire hose and pressure washing this, and it was like 100 foot wide and 300 foot long. They said it was bigger than a football field,
Yeah.
and that was their settling chamber pre going to their filtration. So we're trying to get everything out by filtration, like any Aquarius does, but on such a bigger scale. I'm really hyped about our new filtration and this 50 micron thing. It's going to make the water even better, and we just got to stop using the sump as a place to put fish. It has never worked out for us. It's a quick cure, you know.
Yes, everyone asking about a pond liner. We could use a pond liner, but why would
We
I
still
want
have to stop the rust from spreading, otherwise, eventually, it's going to eat through the metal.
Yeah, and the whole thing about epoxy coated sump, then you're having to cut holes in liners and do, you know, bulkheads and whatnot. We wanted to get rid of the liners because after several years, they just disintegrate and they naturally break down. So we wanted to get away from liners in general and go with hard steel bodies. And now talking with our friends, we have a concept for new tanks that could potentially become possible and have it sectional. You just bolt it together and you're good to go. You bolt it and paint it. With good paint the first time. Or it comes from the factory painted, whatever you chip, you touch up.
People were really getting on us about, releasing the name of that company that screwed us with the paint.
We have.
Yeah, but we're not really trying to go after them, although they should have given us our money back.
They suck. Semco works.
Semco works.
I mean, you guys can all go on the internet. SEMCO, Semco works. And
give them a bad review.
Bad review. There you go.
Not only did they not help us, they promised us the world. This is the best product you've ever seen. We're gonna, this and that. And did they even give us a discount when we bought it?
No.
So we bought it full price on their word, and then it failed miserably the first time we used it. And they not only did not work with us and, oh, well, you should have done this or you should have done that, or how did you apply it? Nothing. They were just like, oh, we don't talk to you no more. And they hung up, and then we couldn't get a hold of them no more. And they stopped answering our calls. They wouldn't cover the cost of it.
Yeah, I don't get how they have a 4.4 out of 5 stars, but they only have 242 ratings, and one of mine is a very bad review. I've got the 1 star. 1 star. They've got 24 1 stars, 176 5 stars. I don't know how. I will give it to the product if you use it like outdoors and it's got a chance to dry off, something that occasionally gets wet, it'll probably do good. But
that would look, actually no, because you know how it changes color underwater. Every time it rains, you've got the raindrops hitting the wall, changing the color.
But it dry right back out.
Right. It would look weird. But
yeah, blue.
It definitely, we told them the purpose we were using it for. They said, this is it. This is the product you need, and we did it the way they said to do it, So, but yeah, they're a terrible company, terrible service, terrible handling of situations. And, at first we weren't ready to take our people and go after them. But now, you know what? This is the third, steel tank that we're doing. And I'm just tired of trying to do what's right and take the high road, because they deserve what they get. That's how they want to act. I mean, that's plain and simple.
Yeah, they suck.
I mean, we've dealt with people, and we've given out advice, and we stand by our advice, and we will help somebody in any situation. We'll even come out to their house. I went to West Virginia and spent the night at somebody's house hooking up their system to their tank that I sold them. So, I mean, I don't know. All right, now we're getting there. We got 92 people.
There we go.
So it's been a crazy week. What did we do over the weekend? Remember, I got really drunk. It took 2 days thing. It's a hangover. I was tore up. What was that? Oh, we went to the medieval fair last Sunday. That was crazy. I had a great time. That was awesome. And then got back here and kept on drinking and woke up like, why is my body hurting? My hips hurt, my knees hurt, my toes hurt, elbows hurt. And then I found out from Jerry that I got to the point where I was just falling down, couldn't make it through the door. So, but I had a weekend nurse, so I didn't have to worry about Tracy.
All right, let me get back to this.
Are you still looking at their reviews? What did the other 1-star reviews say?
I'm trying to. This doesn't work. Terrible bubbling nonsense.
Anything about their service?
Mm.
Well, they're going to have it now, at least from up to 90 people.
And go back to here.
Marley says nurses tonight. Yes, I have a nurse coming in at today's Friday at 11 o'clock. Camel Band says, hey, thank you for identifying that fish for me. Okay, don't remember which one, but you're welcome. Oh, yeah, my birthday's coming up.
Yeah, like next weekend.
Is it? Oh, next weekend we're doing Richie's roof.
That's this weekend. Like 2 days.
Oh, so that's 2 days? Yeah, okay. So next weekend, gotcha. If any of you guys can show up, we're going over Richie's house and he's got a single-story house that he's tearing the roof off, and that's all we got to do is help out, tear the roof off, and then put it into the dumpster. So we're going to lay tarps down. It'll probably be Richie and Joshy on the roof doing tear off, and we just got to take everything over to the dumpster. You know, Reaper's coming. He's going to help cook. Mark and John are coming. Bird John's coming. I've got Emery that was outside earlier today. He's coming. And anybody else that wants to show up, free food and drink. And we're going to help Richie get this done because he has to have it inspected by the city of Cleveland or Parma before he can start doing the roofing. Otherwise, we'd have it all done in a day. So if we get it down, ripped off, and then put the ice and shield on there, then put the tar paper on the roof, he can have it inspected. Then we can go ahead and do the roofing. So,
giraffe catfish, what are you going to do with the black shark? Come get him, buddy. He is going to be rehomed.
You want to tell the story about the 3-foot black shark?
I have too many one tank, one species.
That's the
fish.
problem we have.
And there, he's in there with plecos right now, and it's fine. But I don't want to stick him in there with my high dollar fish. If something goes wrong, he kills it. There was a 3-foot black shark up in Canada, an arapaima tank, and he killed a 5-foot arapaima.
Now, you can't just go to the store and buy another 5-foot arapaima. We lost a 6-footer, 7-foot, 6-foot arapaima here, and we're still trying to find one to replace him. But
you mean grow them?
We're growing them out slowly but surely. We've got one at 3.5 foot and 4 or 5 at 3 foot.
3 all between 30 and 36 inches, and then the one and the pulleys, 3 foot.
We only have 3 in the 4500. I thought we had 4 in there.
We had 8 at one time, but we don't need 8. I've been rehoming the smallest of the bunch every time I found a decent home, and I just got the Ripley's aquarium. I'd have to look. They're also looking for an arapaima right now, so I might rehome another one.
Okay. Suanne said, "So sad to see the Peroon gone."
Yeah,
he was my boy. I used to watch and tell everybody, okay, do you have any real sharks? I have a Peroon shark right there. Look, he's 4 foot. He's swimming. Look, he can never stop swimming. Look, he looks like a shark. It's just I loved him, but we have one almost his size.
Yeah,
in there.
we still,
but it's not the same.
They are breeding marble prunes like none other.
I know. And instead of trying to jump on one now,
wait a few years.
just wait. Somebody
They're
will
gonna be
bring
worth
it.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't buy the fish the first year, the next year, they're nothing. I learned with my goonch, you know, I paid $3,500 for my goonch, and now you get them for about $1,000.
Yeah. You see, Rod got another albino fly river turtle.
Yeah, he also got the one I'm most jealous of is the albino black devil cat.
Yeah.
That thing is freaking awesome. And it's like 3 foot. That thing is massive. And it was almost dead. I'm super happy that he brought it back.
You know what? Okay. He's getting all these, great fish from all these people around.
Mhm.
Like he does what we do. But he's also a store. And I want you guys to know, Joshua wanted to open up a store here to do the same thing Rod does. But we haven't gotten to that. But it got so many more people because of being a fish seller and the fish box openings and stuff. They've got so many more people that they're more well known than we are. And there was a time when we were bigger than he was. When he was in Florida, they didn't have a internet following. We did, and then he flew past us. And but if we can somehow get out there and get known more, more of these zoos and stuff that are like, that zoo that called us for the 5-foot arapaima, we should have just brought that straight here. I know you had to set up to donate to someplace else and all that, but more of these things in them situations would come to us if we were more known. The problem is we only got 187,000, 188,000 followers on YouTube. See, on TikTok, we've got over 800,000.
807, I think.
Something like that, almost 1 million followers. But not every zoo knows TikTok. It's the YouTube is the one that's like all the older people know. Like Facebook. Oh yeah, and the albino baby ripsaw. Yeah.
That is in China though.
Oh yeah, he was over not in China.
That was in China.
You sure? Oh, he is saying imported from
China.
Singapore.
He deals all with China. China, everywhere.
No.
I mean, a majority of them rare fish he's bringing in is from his China guy.
Okay.
He does import from Africa, wherever else, but all that rare stuff.
Well, I'm saying I saw him and his buddy went to Singapore. They actually went in the river. They were, and they do that a lot, from Singapore. And I thought that's where he got his stuff from. I didn't know he had a China connect.
Yeah, that's where he gets all of his stuff from. I mean, if he could only pick one spot to import from, it'd be China. We go out there a couple of times a year, and he films the China establishment. His partner over there has hit his own. They've got the arowana farm. They've got this. They got that. The snakehead farm, stingray farm, all that, and then they've got their showroom, which you walk in there, and it's just there's probably $5 million in fish just in this one room. Like it's crazy. Like you just looking at every tank, you want to drool, and it's like I don't even want to know the price tag on some of these fish. Like that albino ripsaw, probably 10 grand.
You think?
Yeah. Seen them before.
I remember the platinum.
I had the chance for a platinum ripsaw, and he was 3,000.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. It was 3,000.
So that's why I said the albino's probably about 10. But to think, they probably have hundreds of them. When they start letting them be seen on video is when they want to sell them.
Are ready to release them, yeah.
And then they'll release, I don't know, 15 into the United States. And then wait a few months, and then, bam, they'll release 100. And then you'll get on to like the Phantom red tails. When them things first came out, they were 500, $600 bucks a piece. Now they're $20 in 3 years.
The same thing happened to our albino alligator gars.
Yeah, they're kind of worthless now. I mean, you can get albino gator gars, the babies. I see them on the import list for $15
Wow.
at 2-3 inch.
All right, Tyler Kurt says you still got your true fishy family to back you all the way, no matter what. We all love you, Big Rich and Josh and Jerry and Reaper. And cheers to OFR and cheers to my fishy family. Y'all are amazing. Thank you, Tyler. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And that's why we're here. You know?
The only reason we're still here is because the fishy family that we made and doing and people appreciate, and we get to actually, you can be a good person, but if you get to set a standard for other people to follow, that's even better. It's, I don't know. I don't see either of us as a celebrity or a online personality that people model themselves after. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that. But there is
Maybe
people
not
out
you, but I mean,
your buddy. If you can be a good influence on others, it's even better in life. So I love that part
this
about it.
world has gotten so sick and twisted that even just what people comment on the internet, it's just so bad that if you can bring any spark of goodness, kindness to the world, like, I think half of the internet should be shut down.
Yeah,
and
true.
The world would be a better place. That's as much as I'm going to say, but we're going to be talking about some stuff. Get in trouble.
It's only one drink. You're not going to do it yet. Get him 3 drinks, he'll start talking gibberish. Shit he shouldn't say online. Okay. It's only 5:30 yet.
Yeah.
Tyler says, well, thank you all. Y'all help make my day even better. You are amazing. I'm glad we got to chill and have a few drinks and BS every Friday. Love you guys, everyone in the chat room and my fishy family. You're a hell of a nice guy.
And the people in the chat I have no problem with. It's the disgusting comments on the videos.
I usually delete all that stuff. You don't have to deal with that.
You didn't even see half of them. Someone commented on there about my daughter and said, I stand with you on the whole taking her off camera thing, because they seen the comment that was posted. And they're like, it was bad. And for enough that I just said, you know what, we're done here. So don't want to spoil it for everyone, but for that one person who said that vile, disgusting stuff, the world has a
How would you like
in hell for you?
How would you like to be that person that would say something that disgusting and rude and crude, and then the rest of the internet gets to see it? You're not helping society. You're not helping yourself. You're not helping your family. You're not helping your friends. You're not making others better people. You're making the world a worse place. You fucking suck.
Yeah, it's people like that all these government entities should be going after, not trying to trap people for speeding, or the person who wants to go somewhere and buy his stuff and they're tracking you on flock cameras and stuff.
Here, this is for you.
Equal Star, $10 says, thanks for all your hard work. You always inspire me to keep digging. Cheers. Here's to you, bud.
Here's to you. Rust. That's today's drinking word. You right there?
I breathed in whiskey. Robert asks, we still have the sun conure. No, the sun conure went home with a beautiful family. She was a very talkative one.
The bird or the people?
The bird.
Okay.
She warmed up to us a lot while here. The first day I tried reaching in, they're like, she hates guys. So I went in there, started, doing my thing. By the third day, she was jumping right up onto my finger. She's super nice. It was a sweet
Wouldn't
bird,
bite nothing when you went in after her.
but it was just loud. It was a squawker. And anyone
For
who
sure.
knows sun conures know they make a lot of noise. So we had a few people come out. They weren't the right fit. We ended up having this little last person come out, and we even gave them a discount. And she went home. So that
Because it
great.
was a good fit.
Yeah. I mean, we try and do the same thing with all of our animals, no matter if it's fish or whatever. Really, the only animals we try not to take are turtles, cats, and dogs.
Well, because we're not a turtle cat dog
Unless-
rescue.
Unless it's like a few that can fit in like aquatic, setting. And usually the turtles that come in, I send them over to Satu. So the only turtles I can really keep in aquatics are giant Mexican musk, mata turtles, and fly rivers. All the other ones are short term. So they're here for less than a week. And if I can, I send them up to our buddies up at the 2. He's got a big pond in there. He's able to keep them more long term. Got the light set up, more equipped for it. And if it's something that I can tackle, I'll keep them.
Question for you.
Which one?
The big one.
Trying to get your mind on something different. Josh, are you still going to put that 700-gallon where you have the sump at right now? Any chance you can do another video with your potential plans drawn? I'm going to move that sump and see what kind of room we got. I'm kind of thinking right now, if I move that 600 over a foot, I can remove that 350 that's in quarantine right now and stick the 700 right there. And
Wait, which one's the 700?
The one outside.
With the tubes? No.
No. The one outside sitting against your window. The acrylic.
Oh, the acrylic one. Gotcha.
Yeah. Right now, there's an 8x3 tank there. And there's probably another 18-inch, 2-foot against the wall. But I got to leave some room for a pipe. So if you take that.
8 inches, 6 inches.
Okay, so if you take the 180 that's there, it's sticking out 2 foot away from it. And we've been living with that now. If you take that in another, 18-inch and make up that extra 6 inches to access that pipe, then we can put that 10-foot tank right there, match the 600 to the end, have a larger walkway. You've got a 700, 600 back to back, awesome looking, and still probably have enough room to stick like the 550 or the 350 against the sump.
And then the 600 at your house.
Against the long side of the sump.
Long side of the sump, yeah.
Yep. And leave me like a 2-foot walkway to get in there and access the filter if I need. Then that would leave, we have a 350 sitting outside.
That 2 foot. Now, both me and you can fit in there.
Yeah, getting skinny. Wait a minute. What's going on there? I used to hit belly. That's solid. That should make you feel good. Damn.
You off guard, huh?
Yeah.
I've been doing it, a little behind the scenes every day. I just nonstop.
Yeah.
I don't fuck up. I don't, even when I get drunk and I overeat, like, I don't give a shit. I'm hungry. I'll eat chicken. I'll eat, meat. I won't eat any bread or cakes or cookies or candies and all that shit. I haven't drank a Pepsi in, God, 8 months. I just don't do it. I look at it. Here's when I first started dieting, I used to eat the stuff that I liked, chew it up, and then spit it out. I wouldn't swallow it. That's how I started dieting. And then I just saw the disgusting mess that is in the garbage can, of me like eating a piece of cake or something, and just spit it out. And I started seeing that. I'm like, why am I putting this disgusting shit in my belly? Your body is a machine, and I'm feeding it crap. So I just started feeding it nutritional, good, food. And I've been losing weight nonstop. Even when I get drunk, I may eat, I pre-cook, I pre-prep food. So I've got like I don't know, 5 chicken breasts in the refrigerator right now, and I cut them in half, and I put Swiss cheese on 2 of them and a piece of ham on top. I've got chicken cordon bleu. There's each meal. Okay, half a chicken breast, you got a piece of ham and a little bit of mozzarella cheese.
Yep.
And that's a good meal. I can eat that, and then a couple hours later eat something else. But I'll wake up after drinking, and all my pre-cooked food that I made for like the next 4 days is like gone. But
at least it's not crap.
It's not crap. I indulged myself being drunk because you lose your inhibitions and you lose your availability to say no and rule yourself. But I didn't eat junk,
I mean, your general rule of thumb, anytime I go grocery shopping, any store you walk into, you shop the outer aisles. You walk in, there's fruits, vegetables, meat, cheese. And that's always on the outside. When you walk in the center aisles, it's all your processed foods, your box goods, your canned goods, all the stuff with preservatives your body really should not have. So if you're shopping
like Pop-Tarts and cereals and
yeah, so you shop the outer edge, you might be hitting the grocery store once a week, twice a week, depending on the size of your family. But you know exactly what you're putting in your body, and then you want to do one better. You buy all your meat from a local butcher,
right?
Which that's the next thing I'm going to get into.
A bigger freezer.
I'm getting a big chest freezer, and I'm gonna buy my meat for the year. So if you guys want to go in with me and buy extra and make it cheaper, you also need a chest freezer for it.
Here's the thing that got me. I knew I was losing weight, and everybody's congratulating me and this and that. I got out of the shower the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I think I said this to somebody. I don't know who it was, but if I'm telling the story again, I'm sorry, but I got out of the shower, and I pulled the shower curtain back, and I walked out of the shower. And now the water's off, and I go over to the shower. Right, I saw in the mirror there's 2 lumps right here. It's the start of my 6-pack. I saw 2 lumps up here. I'm like, what the hell is that? Is that meat? Is that muscle? Well, the light was above me, so it showed the shadow on there. I looked like I was, starting to. Maybe I came from Sparta. I mean, it was there. I couldn't believe it. I haven't seen that in like 20-some years.
Yeah, good job.
But the problem is, I lost weight so fast that I've got a little bit of flabby skin on my belly, and the skin actually comes over my shorts, hangs down a little bit, and comes back up. So I'm having to go through this skin tensioning phase right now.
Wait. I just thought of something. You said you took the bike over with Mike, right?
Yeah, and I wore a helmet.
I'm gonna have to call him and make sure he wore.
I wore a helmet. I wore the helmet because we got videos and stuff always going out. So I went over to Glenn Mayer's house, and the whole point was I didn't have his phone number anymore. He changed his number. Well, he's the one I borrowed our skid steer bucket to, and Richie wants to borrow the skid steer on Monday. So I have to go over there. I could do it today. You've got Saturday and Sunday. Sunday we're going to be on Richie's roof, so I need to get this bucket back. So Mike came over with his bike, and I'm like, okay, let's take the bikes over to Glenn Mayer's house. It's about 2 miles down the road, and I rode over there. And I had my helmet on and everything, but my hair, I didn't put it in a bunch of ponytails. Usually I have like 12 ponytails in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it got so knotted up. Actually, here, I sat here getting ready for the live stream. This is the hair that came out of my brush from brushing my hair after that knotty. I mean, that wind knots my hair up. It's horrible.
That's a full rat right there.
That's a full. Nobody should lose that much hair.
What you need to do is they've got these things that are like bandanas and like cones for your hair to be in.
They don't have it. I've looked for them. They don't have a cone for your hair to be in. I need to take like a piece of coat hanger with a hook at the end, put it through like a tube sock that I cut off the tip, and put it through there, grab my ponytail and pull it through the tube sock, and then leave the tube sock on. Or have a button on the tube sock that would go to my bandana or my helmet. That would work.
Look up dreadlock tube sock.
Okay.
They have them. They're $20.
Well, why haven't you bought that for your dad?
Came with a problem. I come with a solution. Like every other time. There you go. There was a super chat up there.
I'm getting to it.
Got Equistar $5. I'm from North Dakota. I've never bought meat in the store. We raise a lot of cattle here. 2 million head a year in North Dakota.
Shit.
That would be awesome. I'd prefer to buy all my meat from you.
Do you guys process it yourself?
I'd imagine. Once you start getting,
or do they just sell the
West and South?
take it to the sale, you know? But if they process themselves, you know, how much? We're willing to make the trip. We'll set up a bunch of fish rescues by you and come out and buy your meat.
He said, yes, we do process our own meat. Camel Dana, welcome to Goldfish. All right, guys, you got any other questions you want to ask before I head out of here?
Dino in the tube says, I had diabetes for 6 months ago. I don't know what the rest is, but I had diabetes, and you know, as soon as I lost weight, it was gone.
Said 22 stone, 18 stone. It's a weight.
It's a weight measurement. Okay.
That's over in Europe, they do things by stones.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, my diabetes went away when I lost weight, for sure. The doctors don't tell you that. The doctor's like, oh, you need this med, you need that med, blah, blah, blah. You know, if they would say, just lose some weight and your diabetes will go away. You know, it's so simple.
Our biggest red-tailed catfish is about 4 foot. It is a big sucker. Its head is about yay wide.
You said yay wide. This is a type of measurement here in Hillbilly Town, okay?
I'm going to talk about the drum on the pond. So you guys seen how clear the pond gets. That is if I get out there and clean the filters every day or two. And the pond can get clear. It is capable. But if
we have just proven that now.
If I let it go, it gets murky. And it's all just sediment in the water column. So the plan is the drum that's on the temporary filtration now, once I'm done using it, that is going to go onto the pond before the Owasa filter boxes. It's going to filter all that stuff out.
Automatically.
Then the finished water is going to go into the 2 Owasa filter boxes, which are then going to go into their filtration, which is biological and mechanical. Will filter out a little bit more of the fines, making them last a bit longer, and should clear that pond right up.
In other words, it's going to automate what Josh has to do.
Yeah,
sometimes daily, weekly.
I'm sick of it. I'm not doing this shit anymore. If it's not automated, I'm not doing it. It is just.
This is how we lost Josh on the live stream. He's like, I'm not doing live stream no more. I'm done. That's it. Then he tells me the words. I go by the rules that's set in front of me. He goes, if you did it at 5 o'clock, I'd still do the live stream. So we got Josh back for a little bit right now because I go on at 5 o'clock for him. And then he hasn't made it a lot for them shows, okay? I'm not expecting him to be around much longer, but, you know, he wants to do it from his house. He says, oh, you did it, or call in, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'll be there every week. All right, well, let's do it. We're going to figure out how to do this.
So Thomas said, did you guys find a dustless sandblasting company? I did find out more about that. Your typical sandblaster is like 110, 150 PSI. That coating that is on the sump has a blazing factor 235 PSI. So it takes a very industrial, high-power sandblaster to even blast that stuff off.
The parts where it sticks, because the whole bottom just came off with like nothing, you know, because it failed.
But everywhere
and
else
above the water, it came off like nothing.
Nothing. It went through the razor blades, but it came off.
Okay.
So I'm still gonna scrape above the water with the razor blade, below with xylene. The only thing is the whole bottom of the sump was so impregnated with rust, it raised it up, so I was able to scrape it off.
That's what made it. Yeah.
On the sides,
it failed and let the water through and let the metal rust, and it shouldn't have failed like that.
Yeah, and now if I recoat that bottom now, you're gonna see divots and dimples everywhere. So I'm gonna take the belt sander to it once I get it fresh and clean. Take the belt sander to it, smooth it all out.
Right.
Probably like 220 grit, and just smooth it all out.
No, I think there's 80 grit on the belt sander. That's the packs I bought.
Even better.
There you go. And then xylene it, and then paint it.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, xylene and then blowtorch to make sure I dry it out, and it's got every bit, every little pore is just dried out. You can literally put the torch on it and watch it creep.
Yeah.
As it dries out.
Yes, Raheem, this is my second drink. Yeah, it's before 6 o'clock. I don't know how I'm going to last to 8.
Well, you only got to go 2 hours. 5 to 7.
Well, 6 to 8.
Well, my condition was if you move the live stream to 5 to 7. You go to 8 because you want to.
No. I moved the live stream. Oh, you want to start at 5? I'll do that with you, and then I'll do my original live stream from 6 to 8. That's how I did it.
Yes, Zach. Xylene smells horribly.
No, I think it smells beautiful. I walked through the pool room today because he was out there doing it, and I'm like, oh my God, this pool room smells beautiful. I love the smell of that stuff. It's like, what do you call them people that sniff stuff? Not glue heads. I forget what it is, but that's what they do. Is they kill brain cells by sniffing this shit and they get high. This is their like dream mechanical, chemical. This stuff smells like, oh my God, like model glue. I love the smell of that. And this smells like it. It's so strong. And I'm like, woo, this smells so good. But,
And that's why
I don't chase a buzz. You've never seen me get buzzed on any kind of chemical at all. Or drugs. I don't do any kind of drugs at all. I drink. And I don't like how I sound when I drink. Like today's video, I was drunk as shit and arguing with you. And I see myself as acting stupid and sounding stupid. I don't like it.
Bob Taylor started puffing. But yes, we have
huffers for sure.
We have an out. Stuff is getting done. It's a matter of time before that coating starts going back on. I gotta cut some more plumbing and get that stuff taken out. So if I spray that xylene on the rubber gaskets of the bulkhead, it'll just disintegrate it, melt it.
One thing I can say, my son, I'm proud of him. I raised him. He went to college, got a great job. He got his own family, bought his own house. Dad didn't have to co-sign nothing. Did great. I'm back there in that goddamn sump, and I'm cleaning it out for you to make your life better. And I see your piping going over to the new sump held up by 2 pieces of pothos bodies. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. I'm looking at this hillbilly motherfucker. I took 2 bricks and put it under the pipe and held that up. And I had to pull the pipes or bust the pothos off of it and shit to clean up to get ready to move that whole top. I was laughing my ass off at the hillbilly shit you did.
You should have seen the other day when I was removing the plants, and I'm like, shit, I used the plants to tie this up. Now, what do? I just chopped the plants off right there, and I'm like, all right, take it.
I saw you had a clamp on top, holding the top of the pothos, and it's holding up the pipe down here. And this is like hillbilly bullshit.
I'm like, I'll deal with that later.
Yeah, Dad dealt with it.
Ah. Wait. They're red balls.
These are eyes to a skull, people.
It does look like a ball sack. Not gonna lie.
How about now?
A double ball sack. No, my dad did not say anything about the black being up instead of the down.
What's that? Like what?
The pipe, PVC pipe going across the road.
Oh no, you did it to her. I didn't even notice it. So you did it right. Because he was like, I'm gonna have to turn this black up where Dad sees it, and he ain't gonna notice the white on the bottom, blah blah blah. And it worked because I didn't notice it.
All right, guys, it's getting around to that time.
You got 9 more minutes. You shut your mouth.
I gotta go shut something off in this room before I go. So I don't see any more good questions, but I will go ahead and send the third string in.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, it was fun having you here. Do you remember we used to do the live stream from the kitchen table from a phone the whole time? People brought that up the other day. I'm like, oh yeah, we did do that. Even Tracy helped me out. You know, that was awesome back in the days.
All right, guys. Well, I'll get you around. Stay tuned. You'll have a video update on the sump tomorrow. And as always, stay fishy. Hey, hug my granddaughter for me. Tell her this is from Grandpa. Will do.
I miss her. She ain't been over in like 5 days, bro.
Been like 2.
He said it's been 2. Feels like 10. All right. Now let's get on to the real live stream. AJ says, color the pipes for different combination. Like the inlets should be like blue and the all the exhaust and outlets should be black. That would make sense. Thomas Bird says, you're truly a blessed man with a family who really loves you. I really am. And that's why, you know, now at my age, I can give back to the community and give back and help others out and help people out, you know, and just, I'm at that spot in my life. I can do that now, you know. Before, I mean, I went through years. The drinking word is rust. I went through years of fighting my fight, trying to get my family ahead, trying to buy a house, trying to, you know, all this and just fighting and fighting and fighting, working 3 jobs, you know, playing in a band, working on cars for the neighborhood and neighbors and people and stuff. I mean, I just nonstop grinded for years. And now I can actually, well, you guys don't think it. I can actually sit back and relax, meaning I only have to work on my stuff. I don't work on cars really no more. I do what I need to for my car, but I've built probably 15 hot rods in my life. And, you know, I went to school at Cuyahoga Valley Joint Vocational School and got my Doctor of Motors degree. And, you know, to pass that class, you had to tear apart an engine and lay it all out, all the pistons, everything, all the way down, and then rebuild that engine and have it run by the end of the day. I got my Doctor of Motors degree. I passed with like 95%, and I've been building cars ever since. Always, you know, hot rods. I'd buy cars, fix them up, sell them. And then I'd always have a hot rod in the garage that I was working on. And you know, like my Chevelle, I built that Chevelle, and I took it had a terrible, ugly interior, but it was a blue, pretty outside. So I took the whole interior and I glued on this like 2-inch thick blue fuzzy carpet and made the whole interior covered with this. And it looked like you had to take your shoes off to get in this car. That's how beautiful it turned out. And I love that car. And, you know, that was my first major hot rod I built. And then I you know, it had a big block in it and it was not full of rust, but, you know, Russ, here you go. Everybody loved that car. That car was just beautiful. And I ended up selling that, making some good money on it. And I bought a 64 Chevelle and, fixed it up. And then I bought, I don't know, many of the cars I've had over the years, I fixed up and sold. But any car I bought, some of them had systems in it. And I'd take out the systems, keep that, build the car up, make it look nice, make it a hot rod, and then sell it. And, always, first thing I did was put air shocks and shackles on the back. Shackles are what, okay, if you put air shocks on, you've got leaf springs, and you put air shocks on, you want the ass end to be jacked up, you put air in the air shocks. Well, that makes your leaf springs really tight and bend like this. So if you put shackles on the back, like 4 inches, now your leaf springs can still work with the weight in the air shocks, and it made your ass end sit up, made it look more hot rod. That was the cheapest thing I could do. For like, I don't know, $75, I can get air shocks and shackles. And boom, now it's a hot rod. And then you put on the right exhaust. You cut out stock exhaust and you put on cherry bombs on there. And then now you've got the rumble, it sounds like. And you advance in timing, you do all kinds of different stuff and make your motor run, better. I was a carb tuner back in the day. But Shauna says, do you have pics of the cars? Yes, of course I do. I got pics of all kinds of cars. But anyways, there was all cheap things I could do to a car, and then you have to buy tires and rims. Everything was a chrome Krager SS rim and big fat wide tires on the back. It made it look like a hot rod. Even if it wasn't fast, it felt fast. It sounded fast. People just loved it, bought it up. Sure, Ray says most damn shackles rusted. Yeah, factory shackles are iron. The aftermarket shackles are iron, but they're a 1/4 inch thick. I mean, they're thick pieces of metal. I mean, now they're probably an 1/8 inch thick at today's. If they do it today, I don't know. I see Aquatics is here. How you doing? Harley Gem, I don't know what you're talking about, but because of your answer, it says right. Everyone died. I'm going to go with Game of Thrones. Everybody I liked, every character I liked died in that series. And in the end, you're like, what the hell? Let me know if I guessed right. All right, we're going to have Jerry creeping in here soon. There he comes. I thought I heard you walking in. Your pan is over there. Josh threw it out of the chair. There you go, brother. I'll turn it for you. Trying to help you out.
I don't need a fizzling stick yet.
There you go.
Stay fishy, everybody. Bye.
You came to do your time. You did your time. You're leaving.
Yeah, that's it. I'm done.
So Ann says, actually, I'm not well. I pulled a Rich and tried to move my curtains while I was drunk and decided to test my gymnastic skills. Turns out I have none. Fucked my shoulder up. Why has it got to be pull a Rich? Come on. You fell on your ass and you decide to call it, I pulled a Rich. That's not cool. Hope your shoulder feels better. Thomas Birch says, Rich, one day could you have Jerry do a show all about plants, what works together, what doesn't, and why indoors and outdoors? Outdoors? Okay.
That's for future reference.
Sean says, I thought Rich was going to pull the chair out from under Jerry for a second. Oh, if I did, Dad, he'd fall and probably die. I can't do that to him. he's a little frail in his age right now. I couldn't do that. Now, if that was like Third John or my son, I might do it, you know. Yeah, John, we're talking about you.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully good stuff.
All good, brother. I thought you were watching. That's why your door opened up and I heard you.
Said he wanted to pull a chair out Monday.
Thomas Bird says, Jerry, you look like you're sitting low. You look like you need a booster seat. He's on a 4-inch booster seat right now. I shit you not. Aquastar, did you find the blue OB? Yes, I did. I found him. Jerry told me that the blueberry peacocks only color that way when they're in breeding season and they're ready to breed. They turn up and get really blue.
Or he's showing off.
Right. That's the way I saw him, and I thought that's his natural colors all the time. Because Jerry kept pointing out these yellow and black things, calling them blueberries. I'm like, that ain't blueberries, you know. Fuck off with the dumb shit. That's basically how I felt. No, Jerry, I'm looking for the blue OB peacocks. You know, to right there. No, that's yellow and orange. Thomas says, it looks like you guys had a great time at the Renaissance Festival. I so did. It was one of the best times of me getting out. And now it's Friday, and I've only got out a half hour today since Sunday. Is the only, I mean, I don't get out much at all.
I wouldn't know. I didn't go. Somebody's got to stay here and man the fort.
So I said, Jerry is 6 foot tall and bulletproof.
Thanks, Sue-Ann. Wow.
He's not even spitball proof at this point. I'm sorry, Jerry.
I almost was. Yeah, that festival video was good. No, I mean, in all seriousness, they're going to go work on Richie's roof and have feasts and everything else. And I'm going to be here in case somebody drops off fish.
We'll bring you back some food. You always love that. Come back from Richie's and there's a whole plate of like desserts.
After you've got a bag full of brisket that it takes 2 hands to carry and you don't share.
I can eat meat.
I know.
Why would I share my
So
diet?
can I.
Just saying, you guys over there.
Well, I eat your hot dogs.
Garcia Aquatic said, hey, Big Rich, you stole Jerry's booster seat. There is nothing under me, and he's sitting on his booster seat. He is. He's sitting. I mean, that thing's fucking 4 inches thick.
Do I got to show my back? I mean, I lose about 2 inches just with my back being, I'm a hunchback. Minor, but hunched. Right up between the middle of my shoulder blades and my neck. It's just thin.
Robert says, whose roof do you need help on? This will be one of Richie's properties.
Yeah.
We're going over there Sunday and working, and nobody else knows it, but I'm buying the food, so hot dogs, hamburgers for everybody, and Reaper's coming, he's going to cook it. So I just want the Fishy family to show up and show Richie what it's like to live this life. You know what I'm saying? The Fishy family will be there for you. Like when I needed to put that beam in, when I wanted to extend the fish room, 11 foot, we had to have a steel beam go in there, and it was like 45 foot long, 12 inches tall. We put the beam in and surrounded it with 1-bys that whole day, and there was like 40 people showed up, and we carried that beam in and put it in and ran it through, and everybody that come up to the outside would go on in the inside door and start carrying it from in there. It was amazing. We did it by hand, like the Amish do. There, they move their barns and stuff. This is how it was.
Turning that steel tank around in there after we realized, oh,
yeah.
that was what there was 18 of us here, and plus we had it strapped and harnessed, and oh man,
We get stuff done by hands and people and family. We couldn't do the things we do without you people helping us, for sure.
Must be on the video, and I said I was 5'11". You saying 5'7"?
Yeah, you said I used to be 6'3", now I'm 5'11".
I never could quite make it to 6 foot in my bare feet.
No.
No, just that. God dang it, stretch more. I'm the shortest one in my family. Only my daughter's taller than I am.
Well, your sons are definitely taller than you are.
Oh, yeah.
They're taller than me.
Not about that. Eric's Mike is.
I meet his son and I'm like, hi, I'm Big Rich. And I'm looking up at him, like Shaq.
He rides a bicycle that's 10 feet long. Dares other people to try to ride it.
Candle Dan says you need to bring back Jerry some Roman burgers. I have bought Jerry Roman burgers.
Yeah, I have Roman burgers. I gotta stop talking like this. Last time we were talking like this, somebody DoorDashed us
Some food, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. And you know who you are. Mommy Steak.
Why? She says something. I don't understand why she'd say mommy. I get steak because that's what you like, but mommy? I don't get that one. I can't even figure it out. Okay, well, let's move on. Here's to Rust.
Right at the moment, I'm still shy of vapor.
Thomas Birch says that was funny, and the one video you were talking with, I think the people from Erie, PA, from the zoo, and the DoorDash delivery came.
Yeah.
Oh, Sue Ann said, but it came out mommy. I get that. That messes me up all the time. All right. Somebody just came. That front door. Oh, that's Bird John.
Okay.
Yeah, half the time when I drink and I talk to people, I don't text no more when I drink. I'm just like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And I see the text the next morning when I wake up. I'm like, what the fuck was I talking about? Because autocorrect changed so many words. It's hard to keep up. Mike Estambaugh says tonight's drinking word is Dolly. No, tonight's drinking word is Rust. I'm sorry. Could have been Dolly, but we didn't catch it early enough.
Some will work too.
Robert Stacy says, who's making our drink Sunday? That would be me.
Look out, Robert.
Yeah. Don't drive there because you need to be dropped off. You need Uber home or you need to spend the night. Oh, man, my hip is still killing me from the other night.
Yeah, well.
From Sunday.
I haven't brought up Sunday. You when you were making smart aleck remarks earlier.
You know what? It's okay. If I do it, I can deal with the consequences. I got too drunk Sunday and something turned off on like my legs. Yeah. They got shut off. I could not walk. Jerry said and he's telling me these stories, right?
He tried to take out the biggest piece of wood on the whole back deck.
He says, you tried to get up out of your chair for over an hour. And I'm like, yeah, that's some bullshit. You're over exaggerating. And then he says, when you did get up, you tried taking out the 4x6 in the middle of the deck. And if that 4x6 wasn't there, you'd have hit the pond, or the river. And I'm like,
And
no.
then he almost went in the pond bouncing off the 4x6.
So then I go back and I look, and I'll be damned. I sat there. I kept trying to get up, and I kept trying to go, and I could not lift myself up. I had my legs were not working. My arms were working. It showed me trying to do this, but my legs would not work. They were gone. And it made sense because when I woke up Monday morning, I'm like, my hip hurts. That was from a fall at the Renaissance Fair. I slipped in the mud. But I didn't understand why both knees and my right toes hurt and both elbows and my side of my face and my ear hurt. Well, here I'm watching the video and I get up out of the chair and make one step forward and then bust right into that 4x6. And it caught me by my ear is what stopped me. My face hit the 4x6 right here. And now my throat and my ear is sore as can be. But it stopped me from going into the river.
It sounded like somebody hit him with a baseball bat. Worse way, he cracked his head open.
Raheem says, Rich, after the festival, you're in a hospital? No, I was not in the hospital, but I woke up like, what the hell is this shit?
Not for lack of trying.
That was the thing for the festival to get into the medieval fair. That was the wristband for that. So, yeah. So then I guess I sat back down. I crawled back up and got into my chair. And I'm sitting there watching, and Jerry's like, you fell a couple more times. I'm thinking he's exaggerating. I got up out of my chair again and fell right into the fireplace. That fireplace is like 450 pounds. It did not move.
Yeah, it outweighed him this time. He actually found something heavier than the 4x6.
So then I got back up and I sat in my chair for a while, and then I got up and tried going inside. I walked over, touching everything, holding myself up. I got to the grill and fell over there. And Jerry said I was under the grill for about an hour. He said I laid there. So finally I get back up. I'm like, that's what you should do. Just let me lay.
That was the last time I helped you. After that, I said, I ain't going to help him up just so he can fall again.
Well, helped me up from there. I made it to the back door.
No,
Open the door.
You bounced off under the steel table first.
Okay. So I make it over to the back door. I open up the door, and he says I tripped over the threshold and landed where that wood is that is like protecting the pipes coming out from the tanks. He said I head butted that wood. And I don't remember any of it, but he said I laid there for a couple hours. I went to sleep. Yeah. Things got a little out of hand that night. I'm still sore from it.
Super chat. Fish reminds me of her. $1.99. Thank you very much. I hope y'all remember me. Sounds familiar.
What's the drinking
word is
rust.
Or rusty sump, whichever.
Rusty, whatever.
Sump.
Or even Dolly. You can add Dolly in there too, because it's a sad thing, but that just happened. Green Queen says, yikes, a walking disaster. No, walking was a disaster for me, for sure. So, but you know what? I got up Monday and I was sore as shit. And I moved on and I got things done and I took care of stuff. I was sore. I was hurt. I was hungover. It took me 2 days. I've never had a hangover last 2 days before. I woke up the next day because I have a nurse on Monday night. So I got to sleep. But I woke up the next day still hungover.
Yeah.
You know, I was drinking water left and right. It was crazy. Thomas Birch says, guys, thank you for all the entertainment as well as the wisdom that you share with us about the fish. It's really a wonderful show that you guys put out. Well, thank you.
Well, there's no extra charge around here for the entertainment.
And of course, Raheem comes in.
You backed up to a super chat.
No.
Being.
That was the $1.99. That was the last one. What are you talking about?
I thought there was another one in between there.
No. So Raheem puts in 50 Russ. So there's drinking
Oh,
everybody.
no,
Now the one just popped up, Jerry.
oh, okay. Look, Rest Dolly.
No, it's supposed to. It should be say rest in peace,
Fish.
Dolly.
Rest in peace, Dolly.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to say.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a
I missed the Dolly part.
Dolly Parton died.
Oh,
Today?
that Dolly. I thought somebody was talking about a fish.
No, it was Dolly Parton. It's sad. She had a slight bout with cancer and then passed away at the cancer treatment center.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Anyway, rest in peace, Dolly. Drink up.
Let me pour up.
Maybe Hennessy for tonight. But the way Rich, you're looking great, bud. Hope I can visit. And oh, you're looking great, bud.
Oh,
Hope I
thank
can
you.
visit. I've been missing some.
Okay, here, I'll do it. You're
I
looking
can
great,
visit
bud.
and volunteer at the rescue someday.
Yeah, you can come this Sunday. We're going to be doing Richie's roof. So come on out. Oh, shit, it jumped. There you go. Prince Vino says, been having power outages here in Miami. How long do I have to add the bubbler? My office is 20 minutes away. Can I make it? Does tank size matter? Yes, the bigger the tank, the more absorbed oxygen is in the water, the longer you have. But yes, after, let's say, the first hour, you're going to need oxygen in there. You can buy at Walmart for, I think, $7. It's called a Minnow Saver. And all it is a D-cell battery operated air pump. And on those 2 D-cell batteries last like 3 days. It's amazingly, it lasts a lot longer than I ever thought it would.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different brands of them. They all work.
You can get them, USB rechargeable, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But right now in your situation, go to Walmart, go to the fishing section, look for a Minnow Saver. You buy that for $7. You buy 2 D-cell batteries, and you're good to go.
There's actually a couple of them out there that plug in to a regular outlet, and if the outlet goes off, the power goes off to the
They go on the
air
battery.
pump, then they switch over to the battery
But that's a
automatically.
whole air pump, and them are like $35, $50.
Well, it's up to what you want to spend on your
Right.
security for it. But I'm saying that they are available.
Bob Taylor says there is another one, Rich. What is that about? I don't know what that means.
I don't know. I look back for his previous comment.
See, Aqua Drew says, love the new Planet Tank background. This was our old background that we used to use before the cichlid background.
Yeah.
I'm just pulling it back up. That's all. Eagle Star says, Dolly was an American treasure, wasn't she? Absolutely amazing. Changed the world, did a lot of good, helped out a lot of people. I love that. Tony Horder says, hey, Rich, in the video today, you said you're going to move the sturgeon and the pond out for the winter. You don't need to. They're fine in colder water. See, the problem is they don't get fed for 6 months in the colder water. I want them to keep growing. So I'm going to bring them all the babies, the baby sturgeon, the baby paddlefish that we put out there. I'm going to bring them back in for the winter and keep feeding them and growing them. Then next summer, release them in the pond. I want to get them to like 3 foot quickly. So I don't want to wait for the whole, 6, 7 months of winter and then start feeding them again. Go ahead, Jerry.
Fish reminds me of her. Thank you for $1.99.
Thank you.
Remember bottom feeder live stream?
No, don't sound familiar to me.
Me either.
Sorry.
There's ways to get food to the sturgeon and the paddlefish, but we don't want to take the chance of spoiling the pond by doing it.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't work, or if, you know, I mean, the water's fine.
Well, it's not only that, if I try and feed,
sour.
but listen, if I try and feed the paddlefish and the sturgeon in the wintertime, the problem is the goldfish will eat. And then that stuff they're so down, that stuff, the food will sour in their belly.
Yeah, but not once they're in full torpor where they won't eat. It's the packing the food in before they go into torpor that's dangerous.
Well,
because it doesn't get a time to digest. It sets in there and rots. But once they go into torpor, they stop eating. But to have it in the water column small enough that the paddlefish can take it and still have it on the bottom for the sturgeon, it's a rough call.
Sue Ann says, listen to Jerry. Hey, Sue Ann, you know, I can fire you, right? You listen to Big Branch. I'm just kicking my weight around.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Listen, Linda. I love that. Josh did that to me the other day. I see on today's video, I was too drunk to be videoing. I don't like that. She goes, you don't pay me. Love the attitude. But Josh said the same thing to me today. You know, listen, Linda, because I'm like, dude, listen. He keeps pulling these things out of the thing. I'm like, stop. He's pulling these out, and I'm like, stop it. He don't realize there is dirt accumulated on the outside of these bags. Then he's pulling them up through, and he's putting the dirt into the water.
In a way, I kind of agree with Josh. It settles out of the water just as fast.
If I wanted to wait another 3-4 days, it'll settle down.
3 or 4 days. It'll settle by.
No, this is mud on the outside of the bags. And every if you look from the side, every 39-inch long bag has ½ inch of like muck on the outside of it. And you pull it up through that hole and it just goes into the water.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna settle right away. That's some like real fine silt bullshit, you know.
The next day it will. By the next day.
Maybe by the next day, but I'm trying to. I thought I was going to keep working and doing that. I didn't want it muddy, you know.
You stick a net in there and try to catch some cichlids, you got to have mud anyway.
And Sean says you need a breathalyzer on your phone so you don't make a video drunk. I don't like how I talk when I'm drunk. I'm very overbearing. And I sound stupid because I repeat myself many times. I don't like that. I don't know why this thing is messing up on the mouse. Okay. Well, that's a damn good idea. Breathalyzer on my phone. I like it. All right, 6:24. We got 6 more minutes for the Tracy update. Did you put an air stone in the settling chamber? Yes, we did. This reminds me of her, says, working so much and I'm rarely off, you know, it's time to catch the stream. Well, you're here tonight. Here's to you. Rust, everybody.
Yeah.
It says a breathalyzer on the phone and an air tag on the cup. Didn't I have one on my cup for a while?
Yeah.
I took a hair tie. I think I have one here, right here. I took one of these and I put a air tag on it, and I put that around my cup, and I can find my cup all the time, no problem. But it got old.
If he can find his phone.
If I can find my phone, I need my glasses to find my phone. To find my glasses, I'm screwed. I need glasses to find my glasses. uh,
Every time you lose something, it's always in the
Bob
same
Taylor says
place.
airbag or air tag. Yeah, the last place I left it.
Yeah.
I need an airbag on me around my waist in case I fall. I don't break a hip, I guess. Oh, I am still so sore. My butt and legs hurt, actually. Uh-oh. Here you go, Jerry.
Fish reminds me of her again. $4.99. Thank you much, my friend.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Cheers, Dolly. Update my RTC.
that. Red tail cat.
I know.
Okay.
Okay, red tail cat that ate my 16-inch arrow is still alive and kicking. His name is Zoa. Good name.
Good name.
I just upgraded the ponds, slowly losing my garage.
This hobby will take over other areas. I'm just saying. I built a fish room on the side of my house, on the side of my pool room. I'm like, okay, all the fish tanks are going to be in this one room. That's it, you know. And then we filled it up. And then it started coming out to the pool room. And now we've got tanks all the way around 3 sides of the pool. And the back wall is all Home Depot shelf racking, you know, that big metal racking, 4 foot thick, for all the supplies and stuff we need. So yeah, I was never going, and now I have fish tanks in the house.
Plus, he added on to the fish room on top of that.
Right. So yeah, it does take over normal life for sure. This went a little too far. Fish reminds me of her, says, Rich, your home is a dream and a very big inspiration. That's the word I was looking for earlier, inspiration. You know, like when I was talking about how I can help out people and you know, help others and all that, and be an inspiration online.
Yeah.
You know, that is what, I don't know. It just, I feel as a better person that I can be an inspiration, but you have to act better. Like, you know, my drinking is in no way a way to show people how to drink at all. I do get too drunk. But other than that, I don't do no drugs. I don't do no pills. I don't do no, you know, I've never done intravenous drugs, anything like that. I don't do that shit. But I deal with a whole lot of sorrow and problems and real life problems, and I rise above all that. And the only thing that I do is drink, you know, once a week, sometimes two if there's like an event like Sunday. We went to the medieval fair, but you know, I try and be. It's hard to be a person that you know says you should follow my path. I don't tell nobody to follow my path. But if people look up to me and they want to follow, then, you know, you want to be like me. I wish they just wouldn't drink as much as I do. Other than that, you know, I've stopped drinking. I proved to myself that I wasn't an alcoholic because I can stop for a month or 3 at a time. I drink because I like it. And when I drink, I don't have to think about my Tracy problems because that's always on my head. And I can't talk about Tracy without tearing up.
Speaking of which, you got 1 minute.
I got 1 minute for Tracy's time.
You're already on Tracy, so.
So the point, it's a good, what do you call that? A segue into, right.
Yeah.
So, you know, I love that I can actually be a good enough person to where I help out people and I feel good about myself, but then I'm also an inspiration to others to be better humans. I mean, why would you want to be on this earth and be a negative thing, and then people don't like you and you're a negative thing on everybody else?
No,
It's not a good thing to do.
just all right, Tracy time.
All right, guys, it's the Tracy update. Well, go ahead and do the
Okay, fish reminds me of hers. Let's get tanked and danked. Cheers,
cheers to
Dolly.
Dolly.
All right. Thank you much. I'm going to have to go warm up my coffee while you're doing Tracy. Yeah?
Okay. All right, guys, it's the Tracy update time. I know everybody's waiting for this. We got, what, 157 people now? My side of my face is still sore. I'm hitting that 4x4 or 4x6. Anyways, okay, so it's the Tracy update time. I'm going to have to stop this text from going. There we go. She's done really well this week. I mean, I talk to her all the time. And, just earlier tonight, I got back. Remember I told you guys I got to go out. I had to go to Glenn Mayer's house because I borrowed him my skid steer bucket, and now Richie needs it for Monday. So I called him, and his phone number is disconnected. I had to go to his house. It was like, I don't know, 1:30. So Mike Rush stopped by my house, and we got on the bike, and we rode over and did this and that. And I told him that, I need the bucket back by Monday, at 8 a.m. So it has to be back Sunday evening, basically. And we were talking and shooting shit for a while, and all of a sudden I look at my phone, and it's 2:46. Oh my God, Latrice wants to leave in like 14 minutes. I gotta fly home. All the way home. It's only 2 miles away, but it took me. I didn't come in until 3:01, and my phone was ringing. I knew it was Latrice. My phone was ringing, and I get in, and I'm like, I am so sorry. I always let her go like 5 minutes early, sign her out. But this time it was 3:01 when I pulled in the driveway. So it was probably 3:02 when I got to her. And she's sitting there with her backpack on and ready to go, I'm like, I am so sorry, blah, 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 this and that. And I signed her out. And then I started talking to Tracy. And I was telling her, I love you, honey. I miss you. I miss talking to you. Remember when I used to tell you talk too much? And I just lay beside you while you talked and just let you talk your ass off. I would give anything to hear you talk. Anything, I miss you, baby. I will always be here for you. I will take care of you. Don't worry about nothing. Just try and come back to me. I miss talking to you. And she's looking at me, of course. And every time I go in there and I start talking, she'll turn her head towards me and look right at me. So I always kiss her on the side of her cheek or side of her head or her forehead, And yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, but when she first came home, I think it was the first 3 months she was there, I used to kiss her on her forehead so much. She got a rash right where I kissed her all the time, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I had to learn not to kiss her so much. So now, I'll change it. I kiss her on the side of her face, on her temple, on her forehead, and tell her I love her and miss her, and I will never stop taking care of her, blah, blah, blah. And, she's just, every once in a while, though, she gives me, let's put it this way. The first thing that came back was her attitude. Do I want that? Not really, but that's the first thing that came back, because she went from laying there being, nothing, to where now, like I'll if I talk too loud, I've noticed she don't like loud noise, So I'll come in, hey Tracy, how you doing? She'll be like, she'll turn her face away and give me the smirk look, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, baby, how you doing? And then she turns and looks at me, So I know that attitude right there is she don't like that. Okay. So now I talk softly around her, I give her the soft voice. I don't come in there excited and nothing like that. And she's just fucking adorable. With that attitude, she's able to tell me when she's not liking something, I'll talk to her, I'll tell her this, I'll tell her that, or I'm changing her Foley or her what do you want to call it? catheter, something like that. And, she'll let me know if she likes it or not, She's able to convey that, which is really nice. I think it was a couple months ago, the nurse was talking and she was looking at the nurse, and I walked in on this side. As soon as I started talking, she turned her head and looked at me. And then I'm talking, and the nurse talking, and she turned her head and looked at the nurse. And I'm like, wow, she is so aware anymore. That's amazing. She still can't communicate, and I talked to her about this. I'm like, it's got to be so boring in there, honey, not being able to talk to nobody, not being able to communicate. I feel so bad for you. You shouldn't have. Okay. What I'm trying to say is she didn't deserve this. This should not have happened to her. She was such a sweetheart, such a good person, such a good woman, you know, and she didn't deserve this. So I tell her, you didn't deserve this. You should be able, I can't believe you're here. It's almost 7 years. She hasn't been able to talk to us, talk to any human. She just lays there and watches what goes on around her. It's lucky that she's got narcolepsy because she sleeps most of the time. But when she's awake, it's got to be boring as shit not being able to communicate. And it would be different if she was lost, like gone, and she's not there. Like I can tell when she's not there. Her eyes do this mechanical. She used to do it all the time. She would like look from the bottom left to the top right, bottom left, top right, bottom left, top right, bottom left, top right, bottom left, top. I mean, nonstop. And I knew she was in some sort of mechanical mode. She don't know what's going on. And now that she's been, at first it was moments of clarity. She'd watch me. She'd look at me, that kind of stuff. And now it's all the time. She still can't communicate. So I haven't seen her do that robotic movement in forever. It's been at least a year. But, she was like that. And, I talk to her all the time. Like when I'm giving her, her nightly water to keep her urine, because her urine gets kind of dark yellow. And if we give her more water, it's not as yellow. And it's running things through, and it keeps the catheter, the Foley, from plugging up with sediment. So, I'm giving her water. I'm like, hey, honey, hey, it's 9 o'clock at night. I'm getting you a drink. Here's your vodka and squirt, baby. Blah blah blah. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna watch some music videos. We're gonna listen to some tunes. Blah blah blah. Here's your drink. It's just water. But I do that like for breakfast when I feed her breakfast. She never gets to eat anything. It's been 7 years. She's getting fed through a belly, plug. And I hook up the bag, and I got her medicine, I've got her protein stuff in there, I've got her food source, I've got everything in there, and then I hook it up to her belly plug, and I open it up and I let it through. So the whole time I'm making it, I'm telling her, hey honey, today's here's your breakfast. I've got you Belgian waffles with strawberries. I made homemade whipped cream, and she loved my whipped cream. And all this, and I tell her, I'm like, I got a syrup on top and a little bit of powdered sugar. I hope you enjoy your breakfast. And I turn it on, and her belly starts getting full. But I don't know. You know why she loved my whipped cream? Because if you take heavy whipping cream, and I'm telling you, all you guys, if you do this for your mate, they will love you so much. Just take heavy whipping cream, and then you take your blender to it, and your hand mixer, put it on high, do it for like 3 minutes. It'll come to stiff, right? But add, let's say, okay, they've got the little things of heavy whipping cream, and they got the big ones, the pints. I think the other ones were a quart and then a pint. If you use half of a pint, 1/4, something like that, however the measurements go, I'm going by size. Okay, the things like this wide looks like them school milk cartons. You take one of those, put it in a bowl, add a quarter cup of powdered sugar and a teaspoon of vanilla, and you whip that until it's heavy whip, heavy peaks, stiff peaks. It's the best tasting whipped cream you've ever had. It beats the hell out of Ready Whip and all the canned things, you know what I'm saying? Jerry buys me whipped cream or heavy whipping cream just to make him the whipped
Only
cream.
when you're making strawberry pancakes.
So I mean, it's an amazing thing. It's so good, and that's all. She had a birthday this week. I got her bracelet and all that stuff, and Richie and Josh came over and brought paper flowers and all that, so added to her decor. And I gave her some chocolate frosting, and I grabbed a little on my finger and I put it in her mouth. And she just was like, you could tell she was in heaven. She hasn't tasted nothing for like almost a year since her last birthday. And she's just like in heaven, just she just kept on, like, she looked like, I hate to say it, she looked like a cow that was, chewing their cud. She just went at it. It was oh my God. You could tell she was having such a great time. So she had a great birthday. Her boys showed up. Richard didn't, but Richie and Josh did, and it was a good day. It was a really good day. And I don't know what else to say about it, but she's doing really good. She's been healthy as can be. Hasn't been in the hospital. Hasn't gotten sick in forever. I would not let her get any of the COVID shots. The hospital kept pressing. Like, no, I didn't get them. She don't need them. This is why she died. I'm not going to, go back to, COVID shots, And now they're finding out all these COVID shots were actually causing diseases and causing people sickness and stuff. So yeah, she's done really well this week. I actually had to change her catheter the other night on a nurse that is she only comes once a week. So not a daily nurse like Latrice, And we had to change her catheter because it got completely plugged. Oh my goodness. She was 240 over like 110 or something like that. I mean, she needed to go to the hospital for this. And the nurse came and got me, woke me up. So I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. And I went out there and, I see her face is completely blood red. So I'm like, oh my goodness, something's wrong here. I feel her belly because that's the first thing I go to. Her breathing. Is it super fast? Is her heart rate up? I feel her belly. Her belly was hard and extended. I'm like, what does her pee bag look like? And she goes, there's hardly nothing in it. I'm like, I watched her from 3 o'clock until 11, and you're telling me there's hardly nothing in it? I guarantee this catheter is plugged. So I grabbed a big syringe, filled it up with distilled water, and now I disconnect her pee bag from the hose and put it on the syringe, and I'm holding the bag part on the syringe, and I'm trying to push this water into her, and it wouldn't go in. So I tried sucking, and it wouldn't come out. So then I know a way that you can emulsify a pill. If you put a pill into a syringe and then you pull it back and make all this vacuum and you let go of it, it hits and emulsifies the pill. That's a trick we use to feed her pills. Well, that didn't work. I'm like, there's no choice. Grab some more, what do we call them? The green things that go underneath her, whatever they are.
Changing pads.
Yeah, the pads. We put that under her. I'm like, as soon as I pull this out, she's going to start peeing everywhere. And I pulled out the old Foley, and yes, she went to start peeing. We got the new Foley. We got the Foley insertion kit, which has iodine covered. They look like huge cotton ear things, Q-tips, but they're like 10 times the size, and they're covered in this red iodine. So you have to clean everything out, clean all the way around, clean, this and that. And then you got 4 of them. So you do all 4 and you keep cleaning different sections the whole time and you kill basically all bacteria. Then you got the new Foley, which is in a sterile package. So the nurse was sitting there with her new sterile gloves on, and I opened up the package and laid it down out there. She was able to pick it up, put it into the sterile jelly, and then insert it. And we had to insert it until you see pee coming out. And at that point, I told the nurse, push it in another inch. So she did that, and then I inflated it with 5 milliliters of water, which brings up the balloon full. I've noticed that all the nurses are like, you put it into your CP, then you inflate it. I saw Tracy wincing before, so you were still in the urethra before it was in the bladder. You know what I'm saying? So I always push that extra inch after you CP. Then I fill it up, and then I pull on it, make sure that that bubble comes back and hits, and and I watch Tracy as I fill it to make sure she's not in any pain, because I saw her wince before. So we got that changed and did good, and she started releasing. Her belly went way down, the bag got filled up, and everything was back. Her heart rate came down. She didn't have to go to the hospital, but it was good for the nurse to come and get me to ask what to do, because she was at a point where she needs to call 911, right? So we were able to avoid all that. So she's good to go. We wrote down the new schedule because every 2 months we need that catheter changed. And since we had to change it, now the rest of the nurses know that this date is when it gets changed. So we're keeping on track. Everything's doing good. All right, so I don't know what else to say about Tracy other than, she's doing good. I wish her family would come around and see her. It's been 7 years and they're still not around. I talked to a few of them. They're not interested in coming over. They're more interested in arguing with me that I stole her from her family, but I didn't. I was just some guy, and she knocked on the door with her boyfriend, and she came back after that, and I've been with her since. I don't know what to say. I didn't do anything wrong. And I'm the one taking care of that girl. They should be, instead of hating me, they should be thanking me because I am taking care of her. I don't know. That family, they got a lot of mental problems, period, from what I see. And I know they watch here every once in a while to keep up on the Tracy update. My point is, shame on you, Loomis family. Shame on you for not coming here and helping or caring enough to see your sister. Shame on you.
Good way to close, Tracy.
Yeah, I like that.
Where were we?
Oh no, it's back to school time. Chris Nichols says, "How deep is the koi pond out back, Rich?" Well, we originally dug it 5 foot in the middle, to where it's like 4 foot on the sides, 5 foot in the middle. But I think that has like leveled off because it looks flat on the bottom now. So 4.5 foot, that type of thing. But around the outside, there is a 30-inch ledge. Well, 2 foot, but with the size of the rocks, it's about 30 inches. That comes up 2 foot, and it's 2 foot underwater all the way around the whole pond. And that was our ledge for setting the lilies on. Oh, Summerlee put up the Tracy GoFundMe. Aw.
Yeah.
The one on Silence Voice says, I am Team Tracy. With the heart, wishing her the very best. Thank you so much. Harley Jim says, that stink base is communication of some kind. Yes, that's the only way she can communicate at this point. She watches, she looks, and she can do the stink base. So I was thinking that myself, that maybe it's not always like, I don't like you.
That's the
Sometimes it's the only thing she can say or do something, you know what I'm saying? It is a form of communication, yes. And it started. So I'm waiting for the rest to come through, you know? I don't think she'll wake up one day and be like, hey, Rich, why am I in the living room? She's going to come back little by little, and then we're going to have to teach her how to talk, teach her how to walk, teach her. I mean, I know this, and I'm ready for it. I know this is what's ahead, but I can't pull a plug on her, even if I wanted to now. There's no way. She's self-sustaining now. As long as we feed her, she is self-sustaining. There's no machines keeping her alive. You know what I'm saying? And she's communicating of some sort, and she's watching and looking, and I can see that she's there, you know? And I don't know. There's no way I can walk away from this now. I'm too far invested, you know. It's just, I don't know. All I know is she deserves to be here raising her grandkids, raising her granddaughters. All she ever wanted was a baby girl. And I gave her two boys. Third one was, you know, from another girl, but I gave her boys. And, you know, all she ever wanted was a girl. And we gave up, and she had her tubes tied and hysterectomy and all that stuff. And she can't have no more kids. She would so love little Laura. Oh my God, she is just the sweetest little, just naive sweetheart of a person. You know, she's just the most adorable little girl ever. And she just cares so much. I don't know. It's just, she deserves to be here playing with Alora. She would just lose her mind, you know, to hang out with Alora. Grandpa wouldn't be shit because grandma would be here, you know what I'm saying? Right now, grandpa is the favorite, but I don't know. She does. I know in my heart of hearts, she deserves to be here. She deserves to be here with her granddaughter, enjoying life. No matter what she did to me, no matter why we're divorced, I know she deserves to be here right now, and I'm going to keep taking care of her. I can't stop. Yeah, it's a rough life. Yeah, I work 88 hours a week just on Tracy, and then however many hours a week on the rescue with the community service and all that. Okay, and I can't never leave. But I chose this, so I can't bitch about it. You know what I'm saying? I I know that she deserves this. She deserves to come back, and she needs to be here with her granddaughter. She would lose her fucking mind. She would be so in love. You know, she deserves to be here, and that's all there is to it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Robert Grillo says, God bless you, my brother in Christ. Thank you. Nate says, I often think how different OFR and even Fishy Fridays would be with Tracy on. It would definitely be more fun. You know, I got her out of, at first, she was so scared to be on camera. She was so introverted, you know, and I got her to come out of that a little bit, and she became the koi queen, you know. Everybody wanted to see her, and you know, she's talking to everybody, and felt confident. And you know, and this happened. I think by now she'd have her own channel. She'd just be, you know, she's such a sweetheart. I fucking love Tracy. She's such a sweetheart. And this is coming from a man that was married to her and got cheated on and left her. She's not only made up for that and treated me great for 25 years since. I don't even, people say you can't get past that, but you can if it really was a mistake, you know. I mean, I'm no dumbass. I've gone through my share of women. I know when a woman's lying and pretending and bullshit and all that stuff. But Tracy, even I don't know. It was me reading her notes that she never gave me after she died. I'm reading all these letters, you know, there's like 7 notebooks full of these letters that she wrote to me that she never gave me. I guess her therapist said, you know, it's for you to write out your feelings. And she did this. And all she wanted was to be remarried to me, you know, telling me how I was the best thing that ever happened to her. You know, no one else would have ever told her how to be good in life, you know, morals and ethics and how to police yourself. No one would teach you that, you know, this and that. I did. And she just loved that. And she wanted to have goodness and she wanted back in my life. And I, you know, at the time, you know, I got cheated on. So I'm like, yeah, fuck you. I don't believe a thing you say. Fuck off. You know, you're my ex-wife. I'll give you a place to stay because you're homeless, but the only thing I want from you is to be a good mother to my children because you'll never fix things with me. Fuck you. And she did become a good mother to my children. She did become a good friend to me. And she did. And all she ever wanted was to be remarried to me. I wish I could go back 20 years and say, look, what happened was a mistake. She means it. It's true. But I was always skeptical, you know? There's always that doubt. Once a cheater, always a cheater, you know? You've heard this many times. She was amazing. She was such a sweetheart. And she put up with so much from me, of me treating her like basically in the first 10 years, I treated her like she was a piece of shit. And she put up with it. She kept on going. And, you know, then I don't feel I need to treat her bad. I'm just treating her okay, but I'm not treating her like my loved one, you know? And she stayed, and all she ever wanted was to be remarried. Girl deserves to be here, married to me, raising her granddaughter. Period. That's all there is to it. I wish things worked out different. She deserves to be here. Okay, we're done with the Tracy update. How about that? Oh shit. Can we move on now? So it says once a cheater, sometimes you have to live to learn. Yeah. She learned and she became a man hater. I mean, she really hated men. She once punched a doctor in the dick. I'm sitting there and you know, she goes to the hospital and she's like, I need a female doctor. A man doctor came in and he starts undoing her gown. And she's like, I said I want a female doctor. And she punched him in his dick. I'm like, oh my God, Tracy, you can't do that. And he held over, he bent over, he's walking to the door, he left. We've never seen him again. I'm like, oh my goodness. I mean, she really hated men because she believed what men said, but then they only used them for sex, you know what I'm saying? And that's how she ended up cheating on me. And turns out I was the only one there for her when she was homeless, you know, blah, blah, blah. But she was adamant I don't like men. I don't want men around. They only care about one thing. That's it, you know, blah, blah, blah. It was funny. It was so funny. All right, 7 o'clock. Look at that. Finished my second drink. Here's my third. Oh. Okay. All right. We're back to normalness. Okay. It's hard for me to talk about Tracy without tearing up. I'm sorry, guys. Summerlee says a dick punch. Nate says, like the new background, great look. That's actually our old background before the cichlid background. That was the 150 gallon when we had, what are these long, tall plants called?
I don't remember, but I'm glad we don't.
We don't have them no more. We have a bunch of other plants that are like those are like a dime a dozen. They're very cheap. Val. Something
No,
Val.
they're not Val.
That's, yeah.
No,
Well, we don't have them no more.
Val don't have the central stem.
Oh yeah, they grew under the water, under the gravel, and over, and then more stems came up.
Yeah, that's
They
a Val.
That's a Val. That's what them are.
No, those,
That's what
those
them are.
spread that way too, but it's not Val.
I'm telling you, that's
I believe
Val.
it's a type of
Dollar bet?
Ophelia.
Dollar bet. Dollar bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Dollar bet.
It's not Val.
That's Val.
No, it's not.
Okay. Well, we already bet on it, so we can stop arguing about it. Okay. How about that?
Well, somebody's got to win the bet.
Well, we'll wait for the people to tell us what it is. But anyway,
so
they had the things that went under the gravel all the way across and connected the whole back of the tank. But they grow up and they come over the top of the water. I had to cut them down.
Yeah, a lot of plants do that.
Yeah.
Val does that too, but it's Val comes up straight from the bottom, one long leaf.
Well, that's what them are. A bunch of them
Not
from one spot.
Sagittaria either, son.
Oh, Sue Ann says counterproductive. Pour from one glass to the other. Well, see, these glasses aren't invisible. This one is because it's green. I can put it in front of my face and you see the plants behind me. Okay. This one, they don't do that. So I poured out of here into my glass, so that I still have that little effect going on. Raheem says not a Val. Anybody else? But anyways, that was way before our cichlid tank. And they were very cheap and they spread everywhere and kept on growing.
Yeah, they are. They're a pain in the ass to maintain.
Right. So I got rid of all them and just kept the more expensive plants.
Yeah.
And now we're being overgrown with expensive plants. Raheem says not a Val. I might owe you $1. Will some pancakes fix that $1?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Strawberry pancake.
I should have
Fresh strawberry.
bet a strawberry pancake instead of $1.
Yeah.
What's hydrophila? That may be it. I think that's it. I think that because now that you said that,
it's in the hydrophila.
It brought my memory back to it. Yep.
I was just saying it was in the hydro family.
That's probably it. See, we can always, depend on our following.
There's so many different forms of hydrophilia though too.
Yeah.
But, if you keep it chopped down, if you don't mind doing the maintenance, it's a beautiful plant to tank.
Oh, it's a great back wall plant, but it just so overgrew the tank.
Oh, you don't want it to tank smaller than that.
All right, I reject your guys' reality. This was Val. Fuck off. Val has single long leaves. Yeah, that's what Jerry said. I'm tired of you always being right, Jerry. This is a bullshit. Yeah, I'm the owner here. Can I be right sometimes?
And when I need to know what one of them big old long bullets of catfish is, I come to you.
I know.
You hit me on something I just happen to know a little bit more about.
Peace Daily says, Rich, would her services pay for a sensory program to stimulate her brain, probably under occupational therapy or support of a neurologist?
Once
Okay.
she can respond.
Yeah, once she is able to respond to the doctors, okay, you got to understand, she's on this thing called the Glasgow coma scale. She was in a coma for a year, and then she came out of a coma and was in a minimally or vegetative state. Now, there ain't very many programs open to a vegetative state. Once you work your way up through that vegetative state, there's like 18 different levels, and she's shown signs of all of it. She's at the very top of the vegetative state. She's at the ready to move into the minimally conscious state. Once she does that, we got openness to like 20 new programs that are out there for her, but they need to see progress each week. So right now she's at the point where she don't show progress, but the doctor needs to be here even when she's on her moments of clarity, and she does like answer me by blinking and moving her eyes left and right, or up and down, or blinking, or squeezing hands. I've tried everything. There's been a couple of times where she blinked 3 times in a row to answer me, but them are in moments of clarity, because then I come back and I talk to her an hour later and she's just staring off over there and she ain't answering me at all. So I call them moments of clarity. Once she's got these moments of clarity constantly and she's in clarity, then the doctor can show up and I can show him she will answer you by this action or by that action. You know what I'm saying? It may not be hand squeezing. It may not be blinking your eyes or closing your eyes or looking left or right. I made her a yes no board. The yes is green with a yellow yes on it. The no is red with a yellow no on it. And it's separated. That way, if she wants to answer you, she can look at that one or this one. And you can tell which way she's answering. Still haven't been able to do that. So once she reaches the minimally conscious stage, she's open to a whole lot more physical therapy programs. Her neurologist has not been involved in the 7 years we've been here. He don't give 2 shits. I've contacted him many, 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 many times. And, I wanted to get her into the these trials they have for what's it called that she's got where her brainstem died from lack of oxygen.
Yeah.
I forget the term of it.
Anoxia.
Anoxic brain injury. And now I'm telling them there was these studies where this drug helped people out in an anoxic brain injury system, and he wouldn't even get back to me. I got back to him 2 months later. I'm like, look, if you're not going to get back to me, I'm going to go ahead and find this drug on the streets and give it to her. And from that point on, boom, he's never written me back. He will not contact me. I guess they're liable for this stupid shit or some shit. I don't know. All I know is he's never helped out her neurologist. Fuck him.
Different neurologist.
So Ann says, have the nurses started using the yes no board on a daily basis? No, they don't even try. They are there for her needs and take care of her. I'm the one that tries talking to her and watching to see if she can convey any kind of thing back to me, a response. I do that daily. I do that all the time, especially when I take care of her at night. I'm out there, I kiss her, I talk to her. And I can tell when she's like really in tune with me, because she'll look me right in the eyes. Other times she's like staring off like Stevie Wonder, and I know she's not really there. I don't try that. I try when I talk and she looks at me and she's looking at me, and then I try all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying?
The sad thing is that it's outside the scope of the nurse's duties.
Right.
and it's there. So therefore, there's a liability issue as well. All they're responsible for is physical care and cleanliness. Other than that, that's for a different professional. And if they cross the line, they're in trouble. They got to make sure as many pockets get lined as possible.
Lars Bremen says, I don't know if you believe, but maybe try medium. I have tried everything. I've had people come out here that have done these, like, they burned stuff and, you know, had smoke here and they're around her, Indian things, you know, tribal things, you know, which stuff. I've tried everything. Anybody that wants to try is more than welcome to come here. Anything, I will try anything. Please bring her back. She deserves to be here, you know. And if I ever get her here, if she does, my life becomes easier. You know, we were always talking. Here's the thing. We were always talking about, you know, I always saw a full bagger Harley as an old man bike. But me and her, we always wanted, you know, let's get one of those full dresser Harleys, you know, and then we can take off and we can go to Sturgis, we can go to, you know, Daytona Bike Week, we can do all this, and we're going to have helmets where we can communicate and talk the whole way, you know, and communicate with each other, or just listen to music. And you know, that was our one of our things. This is when the kids are gone, this is what we're going to do. We want to do this. You know, other people plan on, I want to get a mobile home and we're going to go transferring from state to state, you know, whatever. This was our deal. This is what we wanted to do. And, you know, now I've got the bike. I've got a big wheel bagger. I've got the bike. It's comfortable for her to sit on back. You know, we've got, well, it's now going to be 5,000 watts. It was a 3,000 watt stereo. So I'm redoing everything right now, and it's going to be a 5,000 watt stereo system. It's got air ride front and back, you know, 30-inch big chrome front rim. The bike is fucking beautiful, and she's there. She's ready. You know, come back, baby. We can go do this now. You know, and
I just turned into a long Tracy update.
yes, we're still talking, Tracy.
All right, Jeff says you think they get bored and try to talk to her. Oh, they do. They sing with her and everything else.
Oh,
But
I've
that's
taken
not
Tracy's
what we're
hand. I've
talking
danced
about.
with her. I'm dancing with her hand.
Yeah.
You know, her favorite songs are on the. You know, I'm dancing with her.
No, I'm talking about what I'm talking about and what they're worried about is a coordinated effort required to try, you know, something like that. That's, you know,
My butt is sore from sitting here
just
so long.
interacting with your patient.
Yeah.
I mean, not treating them like a patient, but
Well,
treating
see,
them
the
like
whole point was they told me that she had no brain activity.
I,
7 machines she was on, including a kidney dialysis, because all of her organs shut down, and that if you pulled a plug on any one of them, she would die. To go ahead and pull the plug.
as far as that doctor was concerned, because every one of those machines is lining his pocket, man.
Well, he wanted me to pull the plug.
He's not going to go through all
The
the
next
extra
doctor-
effort to see which machine he can turn off and which one he can't. That's
Well, the next doctor came in, and you know, he had us all crying.
Yeah.
The next doctor came in and said, "Listen, it may be brain swollen from lack of oxygen. Let's wait till next Friday, and we'll do the CAT scan again." And then, you know, this Dr. Kumar told me she'll never come off of any of these 8 machines. I'm thinking she's going to have to live the rest of her life on these machines.
Sounds like that scene from Doctor Strange.
Point
Where
is,
the one doctor says this guy is dead anyway. Why remove the bullet?
okay, whatever. But you know, the point was, we waited till next Friday, and by next Friday, when we're going to redo the CAT scan, she had already worked off 7 of those machines.
Yep.
And if you're showing me you're making progress and you're fighting to come back, I'm going to give you fucking time. I'm not pulling the plug. My kids got mad at me because I didn't include them in the decision. I don't care. That's my wife. I don't care if that's your mother. That's my wife. I'm not pulling the fucking plug. You know what I'm saying? So she was off all the machines, and they did the CAT scan and she had plenty of brain activity. You know, if she's working, if she's fighting to come back, why not give her time? I don't understand it. Why people wanted me to pull the plug? It was crazy. It kills me.
Ryan says your helmet's too small for your head.
Well, you know,
You saying he's got a big head?
no, I had the chopper, so I wanted a skull cap, a small little helmet.
Oh yeah.
Now that I got the big wheel bagger, if Tracy was around, I'd get 2 full face helmets with communication between them. You know what I'm saying? And we'd ride them. Period. But I don't. You know, I haven't even rode the big wheel bagger yet. I'm working on fixing it my way, the way I want to. And I've taken off the saddlebags. I've taken out the speakers. I've taken out the wiring. I'm going to redo all the wiring my way, and it's pretty and, you know, complete and all that stuff. So, you know, I can get helmets that match that bike once, you know, Tracy's back. Right now,
Just
I've
get
got my
yourself an old sheet metal funnel and
look like the metal guy from
oh God, there was a cartoon when I was a kid. Okay, we're going back a ways. But
back in the 1800s.
no, it was called Gerald McBoing Boing and his dog Manfred the Wonder Dog.
Wait, this was an actual name of a
It
show?
was actual
Joe
cartoon.
McBoing Boing.
Gerald McBoing Boing, and he had a funnel for a hat. And every time he had a bright idea, it'd go beep.
You see what was available back in the 1800s, guys? Harley Jim says, you make them yours by modifying. Yes. When I got that chopper, I spent the whole winter. I didn't show you guys nothing. I spent the whole winter chroming it out. Now, everybody comes up to that chopper is like, holy shit, that's like, you know, something you'd see at the Autorama, you know, on a spindle still, you know, spinning. It's beautiful. It is really beautiful. That bike is beautiful. I rode it today. And, you know, I'm doing the same thing with my big wheel bagger. I am making it mine. And, you know, I got the lids in for the saddlebags that holds an 8 and a tweeter. And now I ordered a lid for the tour pack that holds 2 8s and 2 tweeters. So I'm going to have 4 8s and 4 tweeters back here, you know, under the amps. And then I've got in my the front fairing is 2 6.5-inch Sherwin Vegas, 600 watts a piece. And then I've now got the knee fairings that holds a 6.5-inch, you know, Sherwin Vega in each side. So I'm going to have them 4 up front with 4 tweeters, and then 4 8s in the back with 4 tweeters, and then the 2 12-inch subwoofers in the saddlebags. And it's just going to be better than it was. That 3,000 watt stereo I started with was banging, but it's going to be better. Mississippi Hippie Sherry says, have you tried playing classical music with Tracy to promote brain activity like Mozart, Bach, Beethoven? Might want to look into the famous Mozart effect. I have done this, and I have studied into the effects of like different frequencies and have played these frequencies for Tracy. And she's always on classic rock. I did have her on, you know, what was it called? There was a channel that had it, Healing Waves or something like that, and it was mostly Mozart and that kind of music. And I had that on for a while. I mean, I've tried everything, down to the frequency. You know, there's frequencies for ADHD that'll make your brain stop and just you listen to this brain. There's frequencies for tinnitus. There's frequencies for all kinds of shit. I've tried it all with her. I've tried it all. Trust me, I'm a man who cares, and I'm not being lazy at all. Look at that big blue discus. See it? There
What?
it is, right behind me.
Oh, that big blue discus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss that tank being full of discus.
Yeah, it's nice to have them around when you
Equal says, I'll say one thing for sure. Rich, you don't half-ass anything. No, I go full blast. I learn as much as I can learn about that subject, and I do it as much as I can. I go full blast into it. And that's what I've taught my kids. And now they're benefiting in their lives from the way I raised them. It shows my efforts didn't go undone. You know what I'm saying? What was that blue discus for home? Yeah, we had somebody come here and they bought all of our discus, and I kind of miss it. I liked that tank. I liked having all the discus in there. That was awesome. Mississippi Heavy Sherry says, that's great, Rich. Glad you experimented with frequency. I never saw an immediate response. I only did it for like, I don't know, a month. I didn't see a response to it, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I tried the whole frequency for tinnitus because I've got this noise in my middle of my head, like both ears went bad at once, and I've got nonstop. People have to talk above that noise for me to hear them. And I tried the frequency for tinnitus. It didn't work for me. You know what I'm saying? I still got it. It's still there right now. Mississippi Hippie says it can take some time. Well, you know what? Maybe there's where they lost me, because if I paint something and I want it painted white and I paint it white, I want it white. I don't want to paint it 7 times and see if it turns out white. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I'm like,
Instant gratification.
Right. I played the frequency. Did it work? Awesome. Let's go on. You know, no, it didn't work.
Or I only played it for 2 notes.
Jam says, yours is hearing damage from the band light. Yeah, but a year ago, I could hear just fine. And then all of a sudden, one day, I'm sitting there. I forget what I was doing. I'm just sitting there. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, what the fuck? You know, it's loud as shit. And it's in both ears at the same time. So people say it's from the hairs in your ears being damaged. So you maybe one ear would, no, it happened at both at the same time. And I've got this noise right in the middle of my head. I just can't. It's always, it's loud as shit. It's like a white noise. And you know, if somebody mumbles to me, I can't understand what they're saying. You need to speak up. You know, and it's never stopped. It's been, I don't know, a year now. It's never stopped. Once it started, that was it. It stopped. It's never stopped. And it could be damage from the band life. You know, I was in a band for 30 fucking years. Even before the band, I always had a loud stereo system, and you know, jammed out with Pink Floyd and shit like that back in the days, and it was loud as shit. But I mean, like right now, I've got an 8,000 watt PA system in the basement that we used to jam to 3 nights a week. I don't do it no more because you're living down there. But
I didn't give a shit about the ground pounders on my bike either.
ground pounders?
The exhaust system, straight pipes to the ground.
Oh,
Where
okay.
you get the
I thought that was the name of a motor, but okay.
No, it's the exhaust system.
Okay.
You got to turn so it bounces off the ground.
So your tips
You
went
get that
pointed down?
Yeah, you get that
Okay.
reflected sound.
Okay.
Makes them about 3 times noisier.
Deb Chart says, we're putting the band back together. Oh, and Reem says, brain surgery after the fact. Yeah, I had brain surgery too. Somebody says, I had a friend here earlier when we're doing the Harley. He asked me, what about doing what we're doing, the Harley? And he asked me what we're doing. And I told him he then stared at me for what seemed like 10 minutes. I don't know what any of that means. I'm sorry. Sue Ann says the speaker system is Jerry's mistress, always in the background. Look at that bubble wall. I love that bubble wall. I made that myself.
The bubble wall was efficient back then.
Yeah, I like that.
Some of those big old bubble walls, within a couple of years, they start plugging up.
You know what I found out fixes them? You take your air compressor from outside, you bring it in. I got this little rubber nose nozzle that comes out like an 8-inch hose. I put that to the 8, and you bring water back in, and you do it again. And next thing you know, your whole bubble wall starts working again. It blows the shit out of it.
That cavitation of that bubbles coming up through that tiny hole.
Oh my goodness. Uh-oh.
Oh, 726.
Somebody sent me a message.
No. Yep, Swan, that's how you do it with a torch and a nail.
So I says, didn't you make a video making that bubble wall system? It was an old video from the kitchen table. Yes, I did. On many different tanks, I made bubble walls. The 1,000-gallon, the 150, the shit. What other tanks did I make bubble walls for?
I don't know, man. I haven't been around you that long.
You've been here 4 years.
4 years, but how long you been making bubble walls?
Forever, I guess. She said, you used a torch and a nail. I did. And a sewing needle. No, I actually do miss going down. I used to go down and put on, like my music in the basement and jam along and stand there and play guitar to 20 different songs or something. Like when we had a good night and people were here and you want to go jam? Sure. And I'd go down there and jam out to music and this and that. I miss that. I don't do that no more here. I don't use that room at all. If I bring the band, would it hook up to it? All right. Let me see. Is this a link to maybe the bubble wall? No way. Yes. Summerly, you are amazing. Holy shit. She got a link to the video of the bubble wall making, and everybody can learn how to make bubble walls yourself. Like that one. I made that one. That's a great, you are amazing. I feel I need to pay you. she needs paid, right? And Sue Ann says, with a quickness that she did it. How are you able to find them videos like that? They were mating. KP Bass says, that's where those 2 rainbow fish in the background were mating at the bottom. Yes, they were mating.
At the bottom.
Robert Gorilla says, do you prefer OG Kush or sour diesel? I don't partake, so that's something Jerry has to answer. Have you had OG Kush?
I wouldn't be. Every bud tastes different off the plant, man. So
have you had OG diesel?
No,
Have you had sour
no. I
diesel
just
or
said I
OG
wouldn't be
Kush?
able to tell the difference. I can't say.
All I know is I love the smell of weed. I can't stand any skunk weed. It smells like skunk. Now I get the thing of it, because back in the day, skunk weed was the most potent. So everybody got stoned more off skunk weed. So everybody started smoking skunk weed. But today, there's so many more, strains out there that are way more potent that nobody needs to smoke skunk weed. Why make your house and the shit you're smoking smell like skunk? It's disgusting to me. It makes me want to dry heave. I hate the smell of skunk. So why not go with, OG Kush or sour diesel or blue dream?
Until you actually smell it and taste it, you don't know. People, unless you grew it yourself, you can't even say by growing it yourself what it is, whether it's Sicily. I mean, it's just, it's just Sunday shit.
But to me, I don't get high. So for you people that sit on my back deck and get high,
Yeah,
I would prefer you don't smoke skunk weed
I don't.
because it fucking stinks. It smells like skunk.
I don't smoke skunk weed. I don't like it either.
Well, you do, because I've smelled it many times back there.
Well, what you smell ain't skunk weed.
It's definitely skunk weed.
Well, it doesn't smell good to you, but it's not skunk weed. Skunk weed's foul.
No. See, what you're saying don't match up with what you guys do. Because I've walked out there and smelled skunk, turned around and walked back in the house. I don't want to be out there during that. I can't stand skunk weed. I can't stand the smell of skunk. And you guys all enjoy it because it's supposed to be better. And I get that. But there's new strains nowadays that are way more potent. And that whole facade of smoking skunk weed should be gone. But I always have to deal with your guys' fucking smell. And it's horrible. I can't even go on my back deck sometimes. And it's you guys out there smoking that shit. The last couple of times, a couple of days, remember, I think it was John or somebody handed me I'm like, oh my God, that smells so good.
You're smelling the green part of it.
The green part is fine. When you burn it, it smells a little different, but not like skunk weed. Skunk weed smells like skunk, and then you burn it, it smells like burnt skunk. Period. I mean, I don't like it. I don't understand why people still smell skunk weed. Even Sue Ann says, I go by, drive by a dead skunk and I want to get high. Oh, okay. She goes, Summerlee says, I get happy when I smell a skunk riding down the road. That is so nasty to me. I hate the smell of skunk. Summerlee says, cat piss weed is the shit. See, I wouldn't enjoy that either. I like, back in the day, back when I was in school, good Scentsy. It was right. It smelled good. I enjoy that. I don't want to get high, but I enjoy that smell. Can't you guys smoke something that smells like that? Why do you have to keep smoking this skunky, nasty fucking smell? I hate it. Deb Charge says, when have you smelled a burnt skunk? Yesterday when I walked out on my back deck. Thank you very much. Raheem says, my brother on Saturday and Sunday smokes weed. I hate that smell. Not all of the weed smells bad. There are some, beautiful smelling weed out there. And even when they have beautiful smelling weed, I don't want to partake. But I enjoy it more than fucking skunk weed. If it smells like skunk, I mean, you smell it, you're like, oh my God, that smells horrible. Why would you want to smoke it? Because back in the day, they said skunk weed was more potent. So people started smoking skunk weed. But we're past that now. The weed today is way more potent than any weed back then. If you smoke OG Kush, Blue Dream, fucking red Hawaiian. Any of it is more potent than skunk weed. Please smoke that. Stop smoking skunk smelling weed. It's nasty as fuck. Depth chart says, I was going to do a water change, but then I got high. Carl says, I feel the same way about alcohol. Who wants to drink something that smells like a cleaner? This is true. Like, I don't get how people, you see these movies and they're like, vodka and ice. Neat. Why would you want to drink straight vodka? It smells like rubbing alcohol. I don't get it. I don't understand. That definitely smells like a fucking floor cleaner, doesn't it? But whatever. Harley Jam says Northern Lights is a good one. Anything other than skunk smelling weed is fine with me. Somebody at the front door. That was John. Oh, like gin. I cannot smell gin without wanting to heave. Oh my God. That's so bad. I hate the smell of that shit. Oh. Somebody says, my whole house smells like onions and my eyes are burning. What are you doing? What are you cooking? Take them, put them in butter, cook them on the pan, and they become amazing tasting. Lars Bremen says, when I smell rubbing alcohol, I want to drink it. What the hell? Somebody says, my sister made rice and beans. Well, if you're making rice and beans, where do the onions come in at? Come on now. The butter depth chart says butter makes everything better. For sure.
Not chicken soup.
And Jonathan Middleton says, what's happening, Big Rich? All the way from Wales, UK. I would rather drink beer than smoke that crap. I hate the smell of it. I don't really hate the smell of it unless it's skunk weed. If it's skunk weed, I don't understand how people can enjoy that. It smells like fucking skunk. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I know where it came from. Skunk weed is the new shit out, and it's supposed to be more potent. And I get the thing, but that was back in the 80s. Okay. Now skunk weed's still around, and there's way more strains out there that are better smelling and are way more potent. But people still, they get their skunk weed, and I can't stand it. Why do you make my whole house smell like skunk? I don't like it. What the fuck? What do you get from it? You can get just as high from somebody else, from another strain, and don't have to smell like skunk. Hot Taylor says, I sometimes put butter in my coffee as breakfast. Wow, okay. Suanne says, beer smells like dirty feet. How many dirty feet have you smelled, Suanne? Wow. Harley Jim, there was a diet once that said, you can eat all the butter you want and put it in your coffee in the morning. It makes your coffee better, blah, blah, blah. And people were doing half a stick of butter in their coffee every morning. Didn't make anybody skinnier. Brian Jennings says, "Hey, Rich, looking good, slim. Ever gonna set up a native tank?" Well, you know what? Here's the problem with native tanks. I fish for bass, crappie, bluegill. Why do I want a tank of that? I want a tank of things I can't get, things that aren't here. You know what I'm saying? Why do I want a native tank? I'm not the nature center. You know what I'm saying? So that was my whole point in that.
Besides, the maintenance on the outside of a native tank is bloody hell. They're constantly sweating and dripping. You can't keep the water cooler than the air temperature without condensation.
There is that too.
You have to keep the whole room.
Our native
they're
fish
in.
are colder by nature
Well,
than
you have to
normal
keep
fish.
the whole room they're in at that temperature in order to maintain the tank. You can't just do it with
There's
water.
not a cooler you can set into the tank like a
Yeah.
heater.
Oh, you
and make it
can,
cooler.
but the tank's going to
But
sweat.
no, it's an external, and then you're going to have sweating. Yeah.
Yeah. Muskie would not only be cool, it would be cold.
Well, muskie we can throw in the pond out back, but they would eat our koi.
Yeah, we'll get too warm out there for them.
No, they're native to around here. We can go muskie fishing
Yeah,
in a
but
lot of
those
lakes.
lakes around here never get up to 65, 70 degrees.
You're saying they're a lot bigger than my pond.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't have a pond big enough, and the pond has to stay below, you know, at what deep ground temperature.
Raheem says you have to buy a chiller for native fish. Yeah, we've never gone that route. You guys should show that pond more. We show the pond all the fucking time.
That kind of a pond is actually dug down below the natural frost line.
8 foot deep.
Yeah, at least. At least. That way, that bottom of that pond never gets warm.
Depth charge says, listen to Jerry Linda. Okay, how do we suspend depth charge? Oh, he's talking about the back pond. Yeah, that's possibly something we could do, but it used to be 8 foot deep. What I've noticed was it was cut straight down, and now it's like this. So it's probably 6 foot in the middle.
It's
and-
also wider across the top now.
Yeah.
The way the koi that we had in there are chewed up the sides.
Yeah. I could do the laser. No, we're not going to do the laser. I told Josh to do it. I authorized to spend the money, and he tried this. What's that stuff we have out there now? Xylene, and it worked great. It made the paint rubberized, and he was able to scrape it right off. So now he's going to do section by section, and the last thing we're going to do is the floor. We already scraped off the floor, got all the paint off, but there's a layer of rust there. When he put the xylene on the floor, it coated up and made a 1/4 inch of rust, and he was able to scrape it right off. So we're going to do the walls now, get all the walls done, and then we're going to do the floor again in xylene, and then paint it that day.
Yep. Just got to do a little bit at a time. Unless you want to fry some brain cells.
Or if 20 of you want to show up here, we can do it all in a day.
That's too much.
Well, any of you guys want to come over Sunday? Free beer, free alcohol. We're going to do Help Richie. Come on, show up here Sunday. Lord Damley says, I remember back in the 80s, fish stores would tell you if you feed your fish other live fish, it would make them more aggressive. Is that true? No, they would seem more aggressive because they're eating live fish. They will eat whatever you give them and wants to live on. It doesn't make them more aggressive. They are opportunistic feeders and will feed on whatever you give them. So if you want to, go out in the backyard and catch a bunch of grasshoppers and feed your fish grasshoppers, they will expect grasshoppers all the time. They will eat them. If you feed them pellets, they will eat them. If you feed them goldfish, they will eat them. Not one thing makes that fish more aggressive. They just seem more aggressive to you because you're seeing them eat live fish.
One thing about opportunistic predators is that opportunistic means they eat as much as they can when it's available.
Mm-hmm.
So you fill them up on the on pellets.
Oh no, I'm not saying that they
and
don't
then they're not
grow.
going to waste the energy chasing other fish.
Right, but if you feed live, which we don't do here.
No, I know.
If you feed live, they will grow faster.
Well, they're getting a better blend of nutrients.
Right. We feed pellets, and they get hungry. And if you want to eat, here's your food source. They eat.
I mean, I'd love to be able to feed them guys whole fish, but
Right.
we just can't do it.
You just can't do it.
We can't provide a supply of fish.
See, I like this. Talk. People learn. We even learn. It's great. I love it.
There are a lot of fish that are just naturally aggressive. I mean, it doesn't make no difference what you try to feed that wolffish. He's going to eat. He's going to eat the net.
If you put your finger in there, he's going to eat your finger.
Yeah.
You put a net in there, he's going to attack the net.
You know that black shark?
He's a mean fish too.
Yeah, it's not a matter of mean. He's not big enough to really do any harm to a real big fish.
Right.
But he will not stop.
Right.
He continuously.
And then you're talking about stress.
Yeah.
Like there's a 3-foot arowana, and the black shark keeps taking bites out of him.
Yeah.
By morning, that arowana will be, hanging his tail down, and he will die of stress.
He will not stop. That's the problem with those kind of fish. Once they start picking on something, they do not stop. If you're not big enough to kill him, he's going to keep on picking on you.
See, Carl D 541 says, yeah, when I was a kid, I used to feed my Oscars pinkies. That's all they ate. Here's the thing. You fed however many pinkies, that same Oscar could have lived on just pellets, and you didn't have to kill any baby mice at all. I'm just saying. Pellets is the way to go.
Yeah, it's too bad you can't get it done. At this level, there's no way we can keep a balanced pellet around long enough. The whole idea of them eating the fish guts and everything. I mean, when I was a kid, we used to what we called gut load.
You were a kid?
Yes, I was at one
Back
time.
in the 17s?
When we used live food feeders, okay, we would gut load them with extra food and everything, fatten them up before we used them for feeders.
Oh, shit. Oh,
See,
gotcha.
that way, if you've got a medicine that you want your fish to have, an internal parasitic or something, you gut load the feeders and they give them the feeders. But it's the entrails, it's the enzymes, it's the guts of the feeder fish is where they get those minor, it's like us being without iodine in our system. They're missing a nutrient that they would get if they were eating that live food.
Right.
And you can't supply it in a dried pellet form. Besides that, have one that's sinking. That'll cost me $1.50 per pellet. Or even slow sinking. It doesn't work. Enough preaching. Yeah, I remember a fish store where a guy charged you $1 a piece to throw goldfish to his arowana. How about you?
Oh, shit.
I'd still like to be able to keep a decent snakehead around here just so we can show people what they are. I get tired of people asking me if the Bashirs are
Oh,
snakeheads.
really? Listen to this. As I can't even read it. S Rivers, ever. I don't know what that. S Rever says Big Rich NBA player Derek Lively started a channel. Fanatic was on it. Well, we know Fanatic. They shouted out the rescue today, wanting to visit. They should.
Come on home. As I go, come on down.
Well, hell, I'm gonna have to look that up. It's S Rivers. Go to YouTube and look up. How's it spelled? S Rubber. Okay. S Rubber R videos. Oh, okay. S Rubber. S Rubber. S Rubber. The exact same thing you did.
That would be Derek Lively's channel, not reverse.
Okay, that's not there. So look up Derek Lively.
Yeah, NBA player Derek Lively started the channel. Fanatic was on it, so it would be Derek's channel that you're in. Oh, now he says Lively Lifestyle is the channel.
Oh shit. Live.
Got to read ahead a little bit here.
I guess.
Lively Lifestyle.
Lively lifestyle. Okay.
You know, that sounds almost dumb enough to work. Try using brake fluid.
Fish
on
Crew
that
Tour
thing.
with special guest. Okay. Oh, there's Fanatic.
You got to stop and check it right now.
All right, I'm gonna have to watch the whole thing because I skipped through it. I didn't see it, but I will go through it.
Hey, Jonathan Middleton there. Yeah, it almost sounds stupid enough to work.
Rich, try putting brake fluid on the sump that strips loads of shit that make. You know what? People didn't realize, but back in the day, like when I was 15, I knew that if you'd walk through, you know, there's a Karen over here, and that's her red car. If you threw brake fluid on it,
Oh my God, it destroys the finish.
and then you go to bed, by morning, it's still everything's fine. It's until they try and spray off the wet spots on the car, the paint leaves with it.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah,
wow.
sure.
Brake fluid was yeah.
Oh, there's all kinds of things we used to use back then. Even that old wives' tale about taking the tar off your rims with Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
It actually works. If you
Coca-Cola
will,
is very corrosive for sure.
As much as I love to drink it, boy.
You're drinking
Yeah.
battery acid, basically.
I remember going into a dentist's office when I was a kid, and he had a Coca-Cola soda bottle full of human teeth with Coca-Cola in there and a cap on top. Just to show people what it did to your teeth.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I imagine. I would imagine you'd get in trouble for it if anybody ever really wanted to.
For sure.
I mean, Coca-Cola ain't nobody to mess with as far as money and lawyers go. It's got the whole Mormon faith behind it.
Corrosive, like battery acid.
Yeah,
And you people drink it.
I love it. Only the old recipe. The older the better. In
Look at that.
America,
I've got an
Yeah.
inch left of my drink, and it's 7:56. I have
Good
timed
time.
this so perfect.
now in America they use cane sugar. I mean, they use beet sugar for the Coca-Cola mix.
Uh-huh.
Whereas in Mexico and most of the other countries, they use cane sugar. God, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, flavor wise.
All right. Well, thank you, Harley Gem. I will leave a message for them and invite them on out for sure.
Jonathan knows they didn't want to say it, but that's how he got the idea from past experience. Yeah,
Somebody pisses you off, throw
Yeah.
some brake fluid on their car, and then you ain't got to worry about it.
yeah,
It ain't until they try and clean it that they realize there's paint spots
yeah.
missing. You know, because it only eats where it's sitting,
We
and
have,
if you splash it on their car, it's fucked.
we have to maintain the secondary consideration. We're going to have to paint over it again. So now, how do you get the brake fluid off?
So Ann says, can we agree that the saggy nipple ball sack shirt doesn't make another proof? This is not a saggy nipple ball shirt. This is a skull shirt, and it's one of my favorites. Fuck off with the bullshit.
It's getting too big for him.
It is definitely way too big for me. It's so. I mean, it's
Well,
a
that's why it's got
3X.
saggy nipples instead of eye sockets.
Yes. All right. I will move up into only 2X shirts for the next, couple of weeks. Ugh. All right, guys. I'm getting down to my last little sip.
Yeah, my coffee's already
There
been
it is.
cold.
Done.
And smoke them if you got them. Balchinian.
Carl says it's fine if you like him saggy, Rich. Fuck you guys.
You know who the Balchinian is?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
That's from
Men in Black.
Men in Black. Thank you. Yeah. Charlie says, have a great night, Big Rich and Jerry. Jim says, no, I'm sorry. We got to go, though.
I'll probably check in later to see if the chat was left open. Every once in a while, they have a pretty good conversation going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Had a great time with you. Love hanging out with you guys every Friday night. It's awesome. Thank you. We're going to be out of here. Jeff Charles says, I just finished my drink too. Stay fishy, my friends.
It sounds like the timing's calling us.
Yeah.
Stay
you,
fishy,
guys.
my friends.
We're out of here.